Fucking expensive.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another day of Arisen Esports. I am joined again by Bexon, and we got ourselves a pretty exciting little matchup here today, a few matchups here today. We are watching a number of different matches, a number of different series. It's going to be a fun little casting opportunity. Bexon, how you doing this wonderful afternoon?
I am doing pretty fantastic. I, for one, am super excited to see all that Mayo has cooked up for us today, because like you said, it's going to be a bit chaotic since it's FF60 and Fart Esports. And then we have best of ones to do seeding 1 through 4, because we had a 4-way tie for first place. So of course we have to do tiebreakers, right? So we have
lots of tiebreakers today.
Oh my god. Match A, we've got Topside Baguette versus Help Katie. Match B, The Kind Internet Voice versus the Glizzy Gluckers. And then
Small audio issue, I believe, with one of those scenes. We should be back now, though. Hopefully you guys can hear us. We said some very important stuff, so sorry if you missed out on it. But here we are on to our drafts. As you can see, Yorick and Darius already off the board, followed quickly by the Senna. Some more drafts to follow.
Yeah, not surprised to see Senna banned away here. Anyone who's followed any amount of pro play, she's still pretty good. Now, granted, if you're Aussie, you think that she's a bait. So it depends on the player, I think. Needless to say, a lot of topside bans here from both teams. Not surprising. We have Wooden Mouth versus Super Spence here in the top. That
two big
routinely in the
Risen
top,
Esports top
yes.
laners. So obviously both teams are worried about that. Do not want either one of these top laners to get going and take over games like we have seen before. And the top lane bans continues. I mean, at least 4 top lane bans already here at the first 6 bans.
Right. And as a reminder, this is going to be for 5th and 6th seed. So that will just determine who they're playing, right? And so 5th seed obviously plays 4th. 6th has a little bit more difficult time with that 3rd place. But as we're getting into the picks, I'm just hoping for some fun. I'm hoping we get some very aggressive lanes. I'm hoping for absolute bloodbath games, which we've seen here in Doran's in previous weeks. I don't know about you, Cal, but I worry about your voice as we go through tonight.
I think I will be able to handle that. I know last week definitely put me to the test with the 3 games and just non-stop fighting action. But these 2 teams, FF60, Fart Esports, I have seen Fart Esports play before. I'm a little unfamiliar with FF60. Bex, can you find any of these 2 teams maybe unconventional? I know last week, obviously, we saw the most unconventional team in Risen probably. But do you think any of these teams are going to pull out something a little bit crazy here today?
I don't think crazy. I think it's more going to be the kind of play will be like some interesting plays, some interesting map movement, right? For Milk, I do like the way, so Hui here picked up for Den for FF60. I think that's going to be someone to watch out for because they're a powerhouse of mid laners, so I expect that to be some crazy play. Nocturne here picked up for Fart Esports for Dodo Bobby. And I just think Nocturne in general can be interesting, but I don't think anything is going to touch what we watched last week, to be quite honest. I don't think there's anything we could do that's even remotely
picks, just everything out of the bag. Had no idea where anyone was going.
No.
Also, right away from that first 2 picks, as a Wei player myself, Nocturne, a very, very good champion into Wei. You have no real way of getting him off you. As soon as he uses that Paranoia ultimate, jumps on top, obviously you get spell shielded away from any fear or anything. So very, very difficult to get away from that champion as a spell caster. Wei falls into that category. We'll see how he does. We'll see how the rest of FF60 decides to pick up, if they want to pick up squishy champions, knowing that very dangerous jungler is in the midst.
I feel so distracted, right? Because we have the best of 3 at the top, but I am looking at this draft here for the HK Hui as well. Sorry, going back to Milk Esports Hui, we've got Warwick and we've got Renekton. That's an interesting combination of champions. That is we're going to go into your face, and then Hui's going to stand 5 million feet away and pepper you with damage.
Yeah, right. I was wondering if they were going to continue to go squishy after the Nocturne pick, and it looks like they did not do that. They went the exact opposite. Renekton and Warwick obviously able to stay in those extended fights for a long time. And 5 ban is going to go ahead and pick up Cho'Gath. So Cho'Gath getting selected as a possible top laner, but I have seen Cho'Gath just all over the place lately, it feels like.
Yeah, and I feel like that's part of the meta is just in such a strange place as well. I was having a conversation the other day with Aussie, who casts franchise with me on Wednesdays, about kind of, especially for supports. Supports are in a really weird position right now, and I'm very bot lane focused, as an ADC player. And Cho'Gath is one of those champions that can just show up in the bot lane and just ruin you as a support, and it's just it's just the worst.
Yeah, a good Cho'Gath is just so nasty to go against. The knockups have a pretty solid range. And obviously the silences have been taken out of League of Legends in so many ways. A lot of champions used to have silences in their kit, and Riot has slowly got rid of them because they realize just one of the worst, most unfun things to play against is a silence. And obviously Cho'Gath has that big, wide-reaching one that just completely eliminates you. So we'll see how that goes out. Cho'Gath being selected, and we got some more bans on the field. Looks like teams are now focusing more on the bot lanes without another ADC chosen for FF60. They got the Xayah and the Bard banned out, and then FF60 focusing on the Karma, and then one final ban here.
I expect another Enchanter support. I think that makes the most sense. Maybe a mid laner, but that being said, I do think it would make the most sense to do another Enchanter support. I don't know. The meta is so strange right now as well. I'm kind of just waiting until we know more. I don't know. I need to see more games. I'm behind the times, and I'm also super distracted by 3 games in the season.
There's
It's
so
gonna be
much
a
going
test of
on the
endurance.
screen right now. Obviously, the bottom right draft has already finished. They are just selecting their champions now. They drafted in the draft tool, and they head into the league client and actually select the champions. So those ones are going to be
Mhm.
quickly selected, and we are finishing up our FF60 picks and bans right now.
Nice. Ooh, I was very wrong. Rise is a nice counter to Way, and obviously Portal Realm is nice. Morgana. Now, I'm assuming that's going to be a Morgana support.
I'm thinking it could be. I would love to also see a Syndra here, I feel like, for team number 2
Ooh,
for 5-ban. I think it would be a great mid
yeah.
laner, pushing the Renekton, pushing any one of these engages back with that scatter, and obviously a
Oh
great
my
counter to Way
god.
as well. So if they're worried about this Way mid lane, don't I only think Syndra would fit into their comp well, but also just counter and should be able to win that mid matchup relatively easier. As Rel and Sivir
Wow.
looks like going to be controlling that bot lane here for FF60. And final pick before we head into the game. And how do they want to round out their comp?
I if I am if I'm Fart Esports, I'm a little bit concerned, to be quite honest, because this milk draft does not play. They are absolutely here to go at your face, and they're going to be running right with Sivir here. You know, Sivir's ultimate ability, obviously giving you movement speed, but the Rel Renekton Warwick combo, that's scary. Fiddlesticks.
And a Fiddlesticks
That's a
got to
Fiddlesticks
get
support.
selected. I think that might be a Fiddlesticks mid. Now, if it
I
is
think it's
Fiddlesticks mid,
I think
he's
it's
not going to have
support.
a fun time against Way. Way has the range to sort of keep him at bay and can poke him from afar without getting caught in that healing ability. But nonetheless, Fiddlesticks being selected definitely throws a wrench here into Team 2. Figure out how they're going to play this comp. I have to assume either a support or a mid Fiddlesticks is going to be fun to
Yeah.
watch.
I love Fiddlesticks as a support. I think he's such a pain to play into. Yeah, okay. So in Doran's in week 6, so last week, we did see a Fiddlestick support from the Glizzy Gluckers. I had to double check because I'm like, I swear I saw this recently. So obviously, it worked out for them. Granted, they got a lot else going on. And I do think that they need that kind of threat. We did get word that it's a Nocturne mid. So, Mayo, can you please confirm for us who's the jungler for Fart? Fiddlesticks Jungle. I'm so disappointed by this. Okay, we have word. That
Yep.
Fiddlestick Dodo Bobby,
Thank
the
you, Mayo.
jungler
Mayo checked
for
one of his 8
Fart.
computers and gave us the heads up right there.
Truly Batcave experience here.
He literally looks like a 1990s FBI hacker just surrounded by screens. Yeah.
That it is
Cut the line to
Dodo
the
Bobby
mainframe,
knows
Mayo, quick.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Quick! Hack us in! We have to
I love
see.
it.
But that does mean the casters. Oh, I'm glad that you already had the sign made. Yes, please remember to gamble your channel points, as Mayo has said right below my face, because you know, you never know. You never know who can win. So who do you think is going to win so far, Cal? What are you thinking about this?
Hey, like you said, red team's draft, it just seems so strong. Obviously, the Nocturne mid is a little bit of a strange one. I think he's going to have
Yeah.
a decent time against the Way. I have a tough time going against one of my favorite champions. I love Way. I love Echo. So seeing him on the field, I already hope he does well. I want to see him get going. I love watching a fun Way gameplay. That being said, I just have to think that the comp advantage goes to 5-ban, and FF60 might have their work cut out for them here.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of great CC for the side of Fart here, obviously between the silences and the knockups and the bindings, right? But there's just something about the fact that the entirety of Milk are coming directly at your face. And they have
Yeah.
pretty decent backline access, right? Between the slicing and dicing, obviously the crash down, Magnet Storm can get on your backline as well. The Warwick jump from, 5 screens away. So for me, I think this is going to go Milk. I think that this is going to be a really tough one for Art to play. I think they're going to have a difficult time, and I'm going to laugh every time I say that. I apologize.
I know, right?
I just
That's what I'm
needless to
calling them
say.
5-ban. They see it on the screen. They know what I'm talking about, but it is Fart versus Milk, folks, in case you hear us saying that as well.
Yes, yes. And honestly, what better way to start tiebreakers than,
Right? Yeah, for you lactose
you know,
intolerant folks, that is just a Tuesday for you guys.
Yeah, as someone who is lactose intolerant, like I said, it's just,
Yeah,
it's just an average ice cream
just
weekend.
yeah, they go hand in hand.
Oh my lord.
All
It's
right, folks. They are about to get their picks in. We have a few games, I believe, on the bottom about to start. You can see a little bit of that comp. It's going to start here in about 60 seconds. We can take a quick look at those teams. If you look at it, you got Scion, Trundle, Silas, Ash, and Nautilus going against Shen, Lilia, Ari, Senna, and Tom Kench.
yeah.
So strong looking comp right there. Shen, obviously a strong champion. Lilia for that late game. Senna for that late game. It might be a ticking time bomb there for Team Blue.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, the left side there, blue side, is HK. And if that's the case, yeah, HK versus Sui. Moldrifter plays a lot of Lilia. They're very good at Lilia. So I am particularly interested in that matchup. I
Yeah.
think that from a jungler perspective, that's going to be really fun. Um, I mean, we here have a very cut and dry, very good front to back, team fight. You got Ash slowing you for 5 years, and you got big beefy people in the front. But I do like HK's composition. I think that they have some interesting ways to get onto a backline. They obviously have Stand United to give a little bit more protection. Tom Kench can be nearly unkillable depending on how you build him. So that's going to
Yeah.
be a really fun one. I think HK have their work cut out for them, especially with how Topside Baguette have been playing this series. But they're all tied for a reason, right? The difference between all of these teams is quite literally one game.
Yeah, and Topside Baguette's such a good player. But like you
game.
said, I think a lot of it's going to come down to that Lilia. Lilia is such a massive jungler. I think a incredibly strong champion. And then once she gets going, once she starts to get that speed, it is very difficult to kill her. Can really start outputting that damage, especially if she goes burn items. So we'll see what they decide to do. And we are hopping into a little bit of action here. You got the bottom left-hand corner. It is going to be HK versus Topside Baguette, I believe.
Yeah, to note, for anybody watching at home, we're not removing our caster cams this whole time. Mayo has decided that we have to be on all the time, so you get to see our faces the whole time. So you're going to see us do things like drinking water, which you never get to see normally. How exciting. Or, watch me get really close to the monitor as some exciting stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, taking a look at the Glizzy Gluckers, we have to check in with our resident Chaos Gremlins here on this other matchup against the Kind Internet Boys. So far, it's actually a normal draft. Have the Glizzy Gluckers given up on
I
the
might be in for a treat right here because we might be seeing two ways in the first game. Lucky me, I do not see this champion being played as much as he should be, but nonetheless, way number 2 on the field. I'm honestly hoping, you know what, I'm going all in. Two ways they're both going to get a W. I believe it.
I like it. I like the faith. I'm the same way with Xayah. I want Xayah to win every time. But do you have any champions that when you see them, you want them to lose no matter what? Because I do. I'm a certified hater.
Yeah. I would say some junglers, definitely, like obviously Teemo, you hate to see. Silas, always a bummer. And LeBlanc. LeBlanc is just the absolute. Actually, I don't see LeBlanc because I ban LeBlanc every single game. But nonetheless, yeah, I hate that champion, hate playing against it. Find it incredibly strong. You know what we missed here tonight, Bex, and I'm not sure if you can see it in the bottom left. HK versus Topside Baguette. If you can take a look at their skins. You went 3 for 3 last week. It's going to be much tougher to go 5 for 5 here tonight. But nonetheless,
oh my gosh,
let's go ahead and get ourselves a classic Bexin skin prediction. Who do you think is winning this game?
Well, see, here's the issue. Tempo Melon, base Shen, Smoky Gymnast, base Nautilus. So it's really a matter of the people who do have skins, how well coordinated are they, right? So obviously Ari skin, classic. I believe is that a Spirit Blossom Ari? Pretty sure that is. And then can we take a look at the bot lane, please? Mayo, our wonderful observer. I see the duo, High Noon in the bot lane for the side of, oh, it's triple High Noon? Okay, that wins it for me. I know Ash is not on that team, is on the other team.
There.
Yeah.
I love Bexin's scientific breakdown of these skins. Like, that matters. Like, Spirit Rush seems to underperform lately on the blue side. It's like, yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like that, There's certain skins that when you see them in game, you're like, I'm scared for my life. And some where you're like, you don't know what you're doing. I swear by it. And last time I went, like you said, 3 for 3, so.
Last time it was perfect. You nailed it. We'll see if that is the case here today. And we got ourselves a draft finishing up bottom left after the Varus, Milio, Wei, and Sedge. That is a lot of CC, my friends.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal. Milio's still in a pretty good spot. Enchanter's still pretty good, honestly. It's definitely still worth playing. And I'm super biased. I do love Milio, and I think that he's in a good position to play. And that, like you said, between the Varus and the Hui and the Sejuani, that's a really nice comp. Now, granted, GGL are kind of slick with it. So we'll have to see what they come back with.
We'll see what they decide to finish up with. They still have another pick. And meanwhile, HK versus topside. A little scuffle in the mid lane leaves Silas very low HP. He is able to walk away from that. And we are still killless here in the first set of games. The third game has yet to begin, but 0-0 stat lines across the board.
Yeah, so we're taking a peek here. And now we do see exactly where everyone is going. Here on the top side. And, you know, since we're looking at 3 games, I'm going to do my best to theoretically look at all of them. Obviously, we're focusing most of our attention here on this best of 3 in the top. But that being said, both top lanes are doing what top lanes do, which is punching each other sometimes.
That's a punch. I call it the classic game of topside punch face, and we see it so often. They are very good at it. The Shen and Sion have no problem playing it all game long. We'll see if it ends up with a kill. Often it does not lead to a kill. It just leads to just punch face followed by backing, followed by more punch face.
Absolutely. It does look like Lizzie Gluckers and Kindernet Boys both have normal compositions. Very fascinating. Ooh, nice stun here. Super Spence had a flash. 2 minutes into this game. Okay, we just heard word from Mayo that despite the fact that all of the champions could make a normal comp, GGL have decided to make it a not normal comp by making it a Vladimir APC Ezreal support. But meanwhile, there's a death. That did not happen.
And topside Renekton with the flash ignite finds the kill, has to dive deep, but ends up on top, and Milk picking up the first kill of the evening. Great play by the Renekton, going early against the Cho'Gath. Right call, too. Renekton has that early game advantage. Cho'Gath takes a while to scale. Renekton does not. He gets going right away and use that aggression to pick up a 1-0 lead for Milk.
It's a really nice dive under that tower. Woodenmouth knowing exactly how much pressure they could provide here early into the game. And also, you don't want that Cho'Gath to become gigantic, obviously. You know, there is a lot of damage, right, on the side of Milk, but chewing through a large Cho'Gath is going to be extremely difficult no matter how late into the game you are, right? Sivir can provide sustained damage, does have the auto attack ability, but it still takes so long to shoot through a Cho'Gath. Like, so Woodenmouth doing exactly what needs to be done so far. Ooh.
And a little fight in the jungle as the Warg is going to get caught out. The red team are here to help out. The Rel comes in, goes to the CC, but Caitlyn gets the kill anyway. And now Rel has to retreat with Sivir, the red team on the chase. Fiddlesticks frontlining it, finds a silence onto Rel. A little bit of slow by the Nocturne. Not a ton, though. It looks like the blue team are going to make it out, I believe, as the game has a little bit of a delay, I think. But that is all right. It was obvious Rel gets out. We're gone with a long-range bind. Hits the mark, but only one kill there. And we got ourselves some action here. Milk versus Fart. It is getting going 1-1 score.
Yeah, Caitlyn very nearly went down there. I think if there was one more auto attack, maybe 2, I think they would have gotten the kill there. So unfortunate for the side of Milk Esports. Really nice catch, though, by Fart. Man, Doran having a fantastic, or getting caught out there. Sorry, the champions aren't on the side of the screen, and it's throwing me off a little bit, so maybe
it is also just a lot of information on your screen. We are going to try our best to let you guys know which screen we are talking about.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously,
yes.
we have the main game on the top. Milk versus Fart will always be listed as the main game at the moment. That is the best of 3 series, but we do have other best of 1s. Belief there, and some big players as well. HK versus Topside is a fun matchup. Should be a good one to watch as well.
This is going to get really difficult for the Milk spot lane. Sivir does have really nice wave clear, but the pressure so far from Shia and Coke Monkey has just been, I think, a little bit much to deal with. There was a nice back there. Numenoran was able to get a back in the nick of time, because pretty low health bars, but I think they're going to have struggle to find their way back into the CS game. Topside's going super well for Milk, though, so it's not, like, totally over. And Hui, the later we get, as you know, has some nice wave clear abilities. It does look like we're missing kills here.
Once he hits level about 8 or 9, it's sort of very, very easy to CS on that champion. Also, bot side, top side Baguette do pick up first blood, courtesy of Ashe. A lot of CC chain there with the Nautilus, Trundle, all those together. Great kill there. And we got a few kills on these games right now. No big aggression yet. No big fights happening as a Drake has spawned here. Milk first fart. First Drake, Cloud Drake on the field.
Yeah, I don't expect to see a lot of pressure for that. Obviously, we have Dodo Bobby already on the bot side. Both jungles will probably make a play for it. But I don't think they can really do a whole lot because, at least for the side of Fart, they're waiting for 6. So, like, they need that paranoia, right? That is a key engagement tool for them. And they're not going to get it. I think maybe they're going to get it before... I can't quite tell. Everything's so small. I don't believe it should pop before the dragon. But so I expect us to wait there. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Den just clicked over to 6. Okay, now we go.
And there it is. Nocturne gonna go in right there. Finds the immediate pull. Like we said, it is not a fun matchup. Wave versus Nocturne, there's just not a lot you can do once he ults you. There is no way to push him off you. He has that spell shield for your fear, for your stun. So anything you do, he's gonna be able to catch you. He has that speed boost as well. So Nocturne gets himself an easy kill there in the mid lane, solo for the red team, and Fart take the lead. And we have some fighting here happening top side. Not a ton though, but wait a second. War gonna make his way into the jungle. Immediately gets caught by 2 red team members. The Fiddlesticks goes in with the Crow Storm. Gonna connect onto the War. Big kill there. And Renekton joins the fight. Pops the Dominus. Has the Cho'Gath low. Gets the kill, but whoa. Fiddlesticks not giving up. A little bit of damage onto that Cho'Gath. Is gonna be enough though. No! Renekton finds the double kill and walks away like a tank. Nocturne gonna use that spell shield to avoid the CC. Still chasing after the Renekton right here. Does he have the play? Renekton pops the stun, dashes away, and Milk ties the game. Big play from their top laner.
And that's why Wooden Mouth is in the top 3 top laners for Doran's. That right there. What an incredible turnaround play. Oh my god. Huge congrats to the Dominus. I mean, Renekton, as we all know, is such an incredible champion, right? But watching just on the knife's edge, barely managing to make it out against the healing, right? The Dodo Bobby on this Fiddlesticks can do. Really well played. And also huge props to the mid laner Den. Nice rotate up. Good job covering your teammates and making sure they get out alive. So really well done there by Milk. Nice.
Yeah, great job.
A little bit of vengeance,
great job, Renekton. Some damage here as the Rel does dash in, finds the block. Great play. And Renekton, I think, is one of the strongest champions without a full item. I think that he he does not need a full item to get going. Once he gets that ultimate, he kind of wants to fight level 6. Even the enemy is level 6 as well. If you guys are not itemed up right now, like I said, Renekton, a very, very strong early game champion. Obviously, Wooden Mouth knows what he's doing on this champ. And a great start here for both these teams, and we'll see how it plays out. The first Drake is still on the field. 8.5 minutes in, no one going for that first big objective.
I feel bad for Cloud Drake. I think Cloud Drake gets the, like, forgotten child of all of the Drakes, right? But that being said, just taking a quick look at it, I want to draw attention once again to the difference in the CS. I'm gonna hold that thought.
A great Renekton. I love that play by Renekton. Just dashes right behind the Cho'Gath, avoids that silence, but Cho'Gath still able to trade pretty aggressively. Renekton has no choice but to walk away. Does have his Dominus back up, ready to go. And Cho'Gath about to get his feast stack ready to go as well. You really don't want to give Cho'Gath a champion feast this early on.
Yeah, nice way to get rid of Cho'Gath's dash as well. Flash, making sure that is not available. Sorry, also
dives in, here comes the knockdown, pops the Paranoia, but not fast enough. Renekton gets the kill, and can he get out? He's already popped the Dominus. Nocturne on the chase. Renekton trying to get some heals, has to flash away. And Nocturne able to survive that trade. Now thinking about going back in, I think he might have the healing to survive this fight. Nocturne, I think, realized it as well, and it's now Nocturne's turn to back off. And another big fight here, 4-0. Renekton winning 5-0, finds the double. Down goes Nocturne. And this man knows how to pilot Renekton, folks. What a performance. Great job right there as a fight happened in bot lane. Warwick might be in trouble. The Morgana and the Caitlyn chasing after him. Warwick trying to get away, gets hit by the bind. Caitlyn puts out a trap. The headshot damage is there. Fiddlesticks gets the kill. It is now Rel left alone under the tower. Can she survive the game? 3 members of the red team immediately. Morgana pops the soul binding or the soul shackles onto the Rel. The tower shots are going to connect, but not enough. And Rel goes down. Fiddlesticks picking up 2. And we got ourselves a game here, folks.
So back to what I said about the difference between bot and top lane, because I think that it shows exactly what I'm talking about right there. Both junglers were on bot side, and I think at least they both... Never mind.
That's all right. Now, a little fight happening here.
Okay.
Wei got ignited. He does back off. Difference between top and bot lane. We're going to get through this, I promise. Yeah.
I believe you. Yeah. So bot lane is suffering, at least for the side of Milk Rights. Fart have the clear lead, 84 to 58 CS here in the bot side. Obviously, shutdown goal already available here for Shaya. So both bot junglers were trying to help their bot lane, both there at the same time. And despite being fairly even in terms of CS, the Fiddlesticks already has 3 kills.
Yeah.
So Warwick is behind. And so, unfortunately, for the side of Milk, no matter... We're looking at a
little fight happening here. We have a big rumble in the jungle as the Trundle tries to get away. He's going to get charmed by Ahri. The Aaliyah pops in, helps out with that fight. Ahri picks up the kill. And 3-3 game. I know HK versus Topside is not the feature match at the moment, but a great fight from them and an exciting game. 22.3k gold apiece.
Yeah, that's going to be a really close one. Needless to say,
and
we'll see how it turns
here
out.
It is. Big Crow Storm connected onto Tui. Then the health bars are looking low, but maybe not low enough. Renekton pops back around, takes down the Fiddlesticks. This man is unkillable as the Cho'Gath comes in, takes down Warg. I think he might have gotten a feast stack. The knockup connects, but now he has to run away from the dominus Renekton. 6-1 Renekton right now. He is absolutely carrying this blue team 100% of the kills.
Yeah, I think they've just given up on their bot lane tower. Caitlyn's there free farming the bot side, which does not bode well for them. Caitlyn will continue to become scary. That is what ADCs do, right? They have rotated everyone up for these grubs. I do expect we'll probably see, lane flipping here soon, but I mean, if you're the side of Fart, things are looking pretty good for you. It's not a huge lead, but you got 2k, 2 kills ahead and a tower now. So that's a lot in your pocket. They're slowly starting to snowball. But that fight for
you have to worry about
Renekton.
But just a little bit, because like I said, Renekton, early game champion, I think he will a little bit start to fall off, and a fed Caitlyn should not have too much of a trouble dealing with him. As Renekton under tower takes a few too many hits, Cho'Gath gets himself a kill, but the red team are up, so that is not a shutdown. Meanwhile, Morgana finds a kill mid lane as well, and a 10-7 lead. Fart starting to run away with it a little bit.
Yeah, I think Milk are starting to realize that, hey, we can't go forward if we're getting CS all the time, or if we're getting CC'd all the time. It is hard when you're being bound constantly. So for the side of Milk, it's looking a bit spooky. You're going to have to be a little bit more careful about how you want to find some of these engages. And so far, Fart have been much better at finding picks, especially with this Fiddlesticks. Dodo Bobby absolutely showing why they play, or that they do play a lot of Fiddlesticks, that they are in fact really good at it. So if I am the side of Milk, I have to be a lot more thoughtful about how I want to play these engagements. We know HK versus we, there's 3 people on the top side.
Yeah, fight happening there in the top side. And we got a fight happening KND, GGL. We are jumping back and forth between the games. And here it is, HK versus top side. A little scuffle top side, but no big fights. As the Nocturne are going to dive in on Darrell right there. And Fiddlesticks using that Crow Storm picks up another kill. I love seeing a fed Fiddlesticks. The late game ultimates on a Fiddlesticks are just so much fun as a caster to watch. It's massive plays, 4 5-man ultimates. And I think this Fiddlesticks might have the ability to do that as we are heading into the mid game here on this Milk versus Fart game.
So Yen just can't do any damage into Super Spence. I mean, yeah, it's a Cho'Gath, but it's just absolutely doing their best, wailing on this Cho'Gath, and they can't get him.
Warg thought he had enough. I think he pops his ultimate right there. Gets a little bit of healing, but not enough to deal with the Cho'Gath. And Cho'Gath just got himself a nice feast stack on the champion as the Sivir trying to pick up her first blood. Chasing down Cho'Gath, not doing a lot. Isn't able to dodge out that knocker through the spell shield. Cho'Gath goes down. And Sivir taking a few more autos than she would have liked to kill that Cho'Gath. Chases him down for a long time with very low health. Does not do a ton, but does get the kill eventually.
While that was happening, Wei in the KND versus GGL game did get a 3 screens away kill onto the enemy mid laner. So I just want to point that out, that your Wei did some work in that game. Milk not doing so hot, but so far, we've
Great
got...
job there. Wei doing work in both games right now. Looking for that long-range Q. Not going to connect. Does find the Caitlyn. Gets the shutdown. Double kill for Wei. Caitlyn gets the makeup kill as the Renekton tries to escape. And blue team with a little bit of fight in them as the Wei gets himself 2 nice doubles. A big chunk of gold there, taking down the Caitlyn.
Oh, man. And if I can double check with Mayo, in this bottom left lane, is GGL blue side, given that they have the Vlad Ezreal bot lane? Because, okay. That is in fact correct. Okay, I wanted to double check because I'm like, kind of internet boys are running a GGL comp. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Never mind. Oh, man. This top game, there's still hope,
It's a lot
right?
of stuff to keep track of.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Mayo. Mayo, everyone give a round of applause to Mayo for setting up this very strange series of... Intricate's a good word for it.
Yeah. And a little fight happened in bot lane. As a play-by-play, I am loving it because there was just always something going on for me to cast about as the bot lane fight goes in. Nautilus lands the hook onto Lilia. Middrafer not giving up, though. The damage is there. Down goes the Ashe. And we have what looks like Tom Kench just putting auto attacks onto that Silas. Lands the slow. Smoky Gymnast, the only one left alive. But he is just a support. Big double kill for the Lilia as the deer gets even bigger. And it's 6-4. HK take the lead.
And I think this one was a bit surprising. I think many people thought topside Baguette would kind of run away with this game, but HK is absolutely showing up. I'm so excited to see them in this game, and fantastic play, like you said, by the Lilia. And also good teamwork. I think really good coordination. I think that we've seen some teams suffer with some not so good coordination, so I always love it when you can tell that a team is actively making calls and working together. Meanwhile, Milk versus Fart.
Yep, diving in Renekton, trying to fight the Nocturne right now. I don't feel like this level 10 Nocturne is going to be able to 1v1 this Renekton, but he's got heart. He's trying anyway. I like it. But he goes right under the tower, realize that might be a futile venture, and just pushes the lane and gives himself back.
Oh, Monster Mush Mush got a fantastic kill on the top side on a nice dive on Gordon in this GGL versus K&D game. I'm also thinking of play-by-play for the other two games, so I apologize for not being a very good color today because all I could think about is play-by-play.
We're hanging out watching some League. We're all having a good time. That's all that matters.
It's kind of like one of those videos that have Subway Surfers beneath it. That's kind of what I feel like is happening right now. A nice little internet meme for you there for anybody watching. Nice paranoia.
Great paranoia as Renekton gets taken out. The red team, they're in a chase right now. Morgana lands the bind. Caitlyn putting auto attacks on that rail. Fiddlesticks goes in the Crow Storm. Does not connect initially, but down goes the Warwick eventually. 17-10. Fart is running away with this game as the Sivir left standing sees the red team just shoving in a wave here to this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, how are Milk going to fight back? It just seems like everything is crumbling in front of them. 7 kills, and at this point, a 5k gold lead. And it is not stopping anytime soon. I mean, the damage dealers on their team are just running away with it, and they have not found an answer yet for this Fiddlesticks. Numenoran has to be so careful right now.
Take that Rift Herald bot lane to the tier 3 tower instead of going mid lane with, or tier 2. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure if he got the hit off, though. But either way, they are trying to get themselves one more tower before leaving. They're going to do just that. Rel's going to dive and look for some CC. Renekton is there as well. They may have stayed too long. As Rel looks like she is ignited, but still chasing after the Fiddlesticks. Renekton right behind her. Do they have the dash? Fiddlesticks has to go golden. The red team here to help, but not fast enough. Fiddlesticks gets shut down. Renekton pops the dominance. Big damage there as the Nocturne tries to get the fear. It's going to land as well. Cho'Gath has joined the fight. Big player. Cho'Gath lands a big double knockup onto 2 of them, but the damage is just too much. War gets the kill as the Morgana tries to run away. The blue team are here. The stun. Caitlyn now needs to flash over the wall, but does not have the escape. Way putting in some damage. Sivir finds the shutdown, and exactly what the blue squad needed. An ace for the Milk team. Sivir picking up 3 big kills.
Capitalizing on the mistakes they found, the answer to Fiddlesticks was just more people. And making sure that the Crow Storm's down. Really nice engage. I thought it was going to be so disastrous because you had all of Fart chasing these 2 members of Milk, right? But huge props to Doran and Woodmouth just saying, no, we're not going to let you get away with that. And they just went for it. And clearly it worked out for them. Nice team fight there in the bot lane, bringing a little bit of gold back, bringing them a little bit more into this game, and they get the Drake off it, which is a pretty good trade.
Yeah, the fact that it's only second Drake of the game here at 20 minutes in, it is still anyone's game as far as soul goes. They can absolutely compete for that. And the gold lead only at about 2.5k difference right now, so nothing they can't make up. Great play right there. I am a little bit worried about their late game scaling compared to this Cho'Gath, Fiddlesticks, and Caitlyn. That is a very serious late game comp that Bart already has. They already have going pretty well as all 3 of them have some kills. You can see Mill kind of have the Sivir, kind of have the way, but that is about where their really strong late game stops.
Yeah, they did get some nice shutdown gold as well. So that is always nice, but ooh.
And great play there. Super Spence gonna get the double knockup as they run away. The Caitlyn is here to help out. Renekton looking for the play, dashes in, has the flash, diving onto the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn gonna use that trap to lead, but a massive Madness Storm by Rel brings them right back in, and they get themselves a double kill. Big play right there. Renekton, Rel diving on top of the ADC, get him out quickly. Nocturne Paranoia onto Sivir right now. Sivir gonna use that spell shield to avoid the fear, and Nocturne has to give up. Great counter to the Nocturne. Now he gets a little taste of his own medicine with that spell shield. As Fiddlesticks, I believe, popped the Crow Store onto the bot lane. Does a lot of damage, but not enough for the kill. Morgana with a long-range stun on Renekton finds the CC, but no follow-up as she's gonna get stunned herself. She has to run away, throws on the Black Shield, but not enough spell mitigation as she gets taken out. Rel now chasing down the Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks trying to run away, a little bit of healing onto the Raptors, but he goes down as well. And the blue team, Milk, is fighting back aggressively right now. Big kills as the Wave wants to get one in the mid lane against the Nocturne. This Fire and Despair might do enough. Is the burn damage going to get its target? No, it does not. Caitlyn kills the Way as the Nocturne limps away. Blue team finds some kills, and they are heading for a Baron. Even though they lose their Way, it is still coming up good for them.
Yes, this is HK versus Wee. Smoky Gymnast going in. Double kill there for the Lilia. Lopic comes in way too late to this fight and unfortunately gets taunted immediately, having to flash out. And while the rest of HK did chase, they were not able to get a kill. Back to Milk versus Fart, really good engaged.
It looks like the Baron is going to win this fight.
Oh my God.
I am not sure what just happened right there. We left with the red team, 4 of them on the Baron. We came back to 2 of them dead to the Baron. And I do not know what happened, but the Baron apparently beat the blue team right there in that fight, and just when you thought Milk had a comeback chance, that's got to put a damper on their spirits.
Unfortunately, I think because Hui died, they were not able to take the Baron. I just don't think that they had the damage, and clearly, I was right. We didn't get to see it.
Yeah, I was like, they got themselves some kills, they got a Baron. Scratch the Baron, that is still standing.
Yeah, it's a little movement forward. We saw a glimmer of hope, right? We saw them execute on the comp, I think the way that they wanted it to be the whole time. They were able to do that kind of continually forward-moving fighting, especially when you have Fart kind of spaced out and not all on top of each other at these, group fights. But that being said, not able to fully capitalize on the kill, especially on that Nocturne, and then your Hui dying. Unfortunately, I think spell doom for them in that attempted Baron take. But oh man, there's so many good plays happening. I saw earlier a really fantastic dodge by 10 GVT on this Ezreal. A fantastic arcane, arcane shift away from a Sejuani ultimate. And it was beautiful, perfectly timed. We didn't get to see a replay,
fights, we have one
really
happening
cool.
right here. HK versus O, you're going to get hit by the Ashe. Big damage onto that Thresh, trying to run away. I believe the knockup's going to connect. Ashe gets the kill as Senna throws in a Dawning Shadow. Going to be a little bit of help for her teammates, but not a ton, as the red team still on the play. They take down the Shen as well. Ashe finds a double. Muldrift has to go golden as they get the triple kill there. Down goes the Silas. The red team are going to find themselves an ace. Ashe continuing the CC. Senna finds a little bit of play against the Ashe. Wait a second. Lilia has the double kill, and we talked about late game Lilia, folks. 7-0. Still running that game. What a play as the topside fight is happening also. A fight in the top play right here. Morgana gets taken out by the Sivir. It is just so much action. 3 different games of fights happening at the same time. We are trying to jump back and forth. 23-23 in this top game, Milk versus Fart. 10 versus 9, 6-4. What close games we got going on.
I'm so proud of how Milk have been able to fight back. That was a really good pick. This is exactly what I needed for them. They need to find good picks in the side lane to be able to fight back and get back into the game. And now, gold even, kills even. Obviously still a CS death, but look, Sivir was behind between 30 and 50 CS for most of this game, is now almost on par with the Caitlyn, and that's exactly what you need to get back into this game. So huge props to Milk for coming back so strong. The question is, are they going to be able to hold on to it, right? As you said, GGL currently running away a little bit with this game, 7-4. So, and to be fair, how do you play against a Vladimir Ezreal bot lane?
That is a weird one. That is such an odd comp. The fact that Ezreal's support as well. And here we have a fight happening in the top side. Fiddlestick's going to go and has the Crow one. Looks the play as the War gets killed on the Drake. Fiddlesticks has to go golden. And the red team might have the advantage. Double kill for the Nocturne. Takes down the Warwick. And the Rel looking low as well. She goes down. Renekton has to run away. Red team on the chase. Can the Nocturne catches Renekton? I do not think he's going to continue that chase. The red team find themselves a decent fight as the Warwick gets the Drake for his squad. 2-1 Drakes, 23-26. The game remains close. Red team find themselves a decent fight, get the read.
If you're Milk, you cannot have team fights. You can't get objectives if Crowstorm is up. Because the way that Bart split that fight was textbook. Fantastic. You had, obviously, the Cho'Gath on the bot side coming up river towards the Dragon Pit. You had Fiddlesticks through that Bish over the wall, splitting the team in half, and it just meant that there was nothing that Milk could do. There was no way they could fight that. Their team was too disparate. So really well played from Fart's perspective. Really nice team engage. And again, for Milk, the Crowstorm. You can't fight.
Crowstorm. It's such a great ability for Far that they have to watch out for. Great job by the Warwick, though. Even though his team definitely lost that fight, they were scrambled. He did able to get that smite off in time, gets himself that second Drake. So a little consolation prize as the red team, after losing that Drake, continuing to have smite, they decide to immediately head over to Baron. And this time it is the team that wins the Baron fight as they get themselves the first Baron of the game.
Yeah, Baron did not almost team wipe. So
yeah, good. Finally,
that's very good.
Yeah.
Baron is low-key a sixth member of both teams at the same time if you're not careful. So be warned.
And both teams can put vision down in that bush together. It should be a while to the next objective. We might not see any fighting here on the top side. Milk versus Fart. Red team, Fart obviously wanted to use this Baron to shove in as the Cho'Gath gonna get caught in his jungle. Rel is there. Do they want to try to dive in right here? Warwick here as well. The Cho'Gath a little bit tanky to dive through, and he's gonna flash over the wall, find some safety.
Yeah, totally normal and average Baron. Oh, nice paranoia. My bad.
Yeah, not again, Wade. Not a whole lot you can do. Nocturne pops the paranoia, even under tower. Does not matter. You don't have the damage to kill him fast enough. Nocturne gets himself an easy kill. And here we have the red team just shoving in that top side. They are looking to get themselves a tower, maybe an inhibitor at this point in the game.
Vader just barely missed that Magnet Storm. We're going to GGL versus K&D. Nice mid lane fight here. Roomba Fiesta gets the Spiraling Despair down here onto Lucifer, and it looks like they're going to have to disengage. Not a whole lot they can do in that fight. Oh,
Way
nice
almost find that long-range mortar as they have some CC. The War going to dive right back in, has the infinite duress, but does not keep him alive. Nocturne gets the kill. 2 members of Milk sent back to the grave as the Cho'Gath might just make it 3 right here. Renekton tries to pop Dominus. It's not going to matter. The Feast Stack connects, but it does not get the kill. But red team not giving up on the fight. Nocturne diving in, finds the Fear on her. I believe Sivir. They don't have the follow-up damage, but they do have damage to the towers right now as the red team looking to get themselves 2 big inhibitor towers and inhibitors. Morgana pops the Soul Shackles, goes golden to keep herself alive. And the red team are taking down towers. They are winning fights right now. Inspiring Despair by Way is going to find its mark. Down goes Morgana. But the red team have already got their targets. Double towers, double inhib.
Oh, look at this dragon fight, though. Both teams in the tower. Red team do manage to steal the Drake, but it's an all-out brawl here in the center. Oh, my lord. Just, I don't even know what to say. Ghost here.
Big
picking up a
fights.
kill. Nice sleep from this Lilia, though.
Yeah, Lilia hit a 4-man sleep, I believe, right there. But unfortunately, your team has to run away. And the red team, I believe, got that Drake. They now have 3, 12-11. Really exciting fight by HK and topside right now. They are going at it.
Yeah. Fantastic steal for this side of We. Unfortunate for the Lilia, but like you said, nice sleep, 4-man sleep. Does allow members of their team to get out, to be able to at least not defend tier 2. Keep them out of base, right? Low health bars as well, so you never know. Might get a nice pick here in the HK versus We game.
Yeah, red team shoving in with very low HP bars. They do have the Trundle there to look at as well. And the red team, they really want a tower right here. They're going to take way too many shots right there. The flash and the barrier by the Ashe has to run away. That was a sums used for a few tower shots.
Yeah. Kind of surprised Dawning Shadow wasn't used. I do believe it is up, but I don't know if it would have enough to get a kill there. Don't know, obviously, what the stacks are. We haven't been following that game particularly closely. But, yes. Ooh, nice fight here. Paranoia.
Big play here as the blue team are going to get caught by the Crowstorm once again. And it is just too good. 7-5-9. Fiddlesticks helps his team stay alive, helps them get a few kills. And they are looking at that third tower now. They want to get all 3 inhibitors right here.
I don't know if Dodo Bobby will be allowed to play Fiddlesticks for the rest of Doran's. This show on this champion has just been ridiculous. Even when Fart was not in the best positions, good play.
Immediately, the Morgana gonna go in, pop the Soul Shackles, goes Golden as well. There's the stun, has the Black Shield, stay alive! And what a play by the Morgana, baits them in. Eventually, the Ignite gets the kill, but it is too late as the red team already take an inhibitor, and they're looking to get themselves some Nexus towers. Do they want to try to end the game? It would be ballsy to try it right here, but they are playing aggressive. They have some waves, they have some damage. Nocturne with the Paranoia, gonna dive in, immediately gets hit by the Spire Despair. Big shutdown for the way. And the red team might have bit off more they can chew. Another Crowstone by Fiddlesticks gets caught out by the Warwick. Has to go Golden. The red team take down the towers. No more tower shots. Fiddlesticks, a little bit of healing on the team. That's going to be enough to stay alive. Caitlyn autoing the Nexus. And ladies and gentlemen, Fart picks them up a Game 1 victory. What a play there by the red squad.
Oh, there were moments of brilliance there from Milk, but they just weren't able to translate it into consistency. And I'm so devastated for them, but really well done by Fart. Nice play. Some mistakes, obviously, because the game got pretty even there for a while when it was definitely theirs to lose. But that being said, really well done for that first game of the best of 3 there for the 5th and 6th seed. But I'm taking a look now at this GGL versus Candy. The Sejuani putting in a lot of work, but the Vladimir is just so annoying. Vladimir is such an annoying champion to play into.
Yeah, insanely, and he's going to go in with the pool right there. He might just stay alive right there. Sejuani trying to get the kill. He does it. Finally, they get the kill. They have to sacrifice themselves. And we get to turn our attention towards another fantastic game now. GGL versus, and we are right back here. Never mind, HK versus Topside. A fight happening in the Nexus right now. Big double kill there by the blue team. The knockup by Sion. And is going to be enough, though. The red team on the backside, it looks like Tempo Melon has maybe a revive. And that goes then as the Shen trying to taunt them out. Thondong a little bit too deep right now. The red team, they're going to get punished for invading. And it looks like the blue squad find themselves some kills. HQ with a great wipe right here. Take the lead, 15-12. They're still down on gold, but a great fight in their own base.
Yeah, some fantastic charms out of Twinkie. Absolutely changing the direction of that fight. Low pick, obviously, on that Sion. I'm not quite dead yet. Passive, but really well played by HK, keeping them out of their base as much as is possible. This is such an interesting game because the gold, they're up in kills, behind in gold, and also behind in towers. So, like, I'm not exactly sure what has happened in this HK versus Wii game, but clearly things have happened. Things have occurred. But yeah, also looking at this GGL versus K&D game, I don't think playing against Vladimir ADC would give me low cortisol, so I'm quite jealous of that particular player. I think that would cause much angst for me, but that's a little bit of a less close game, right? 41K to 36 here. 22 minutes in.
And Vladimir is also just getting to that point where he starts to be really, really terrifying. He doesn't have many kills, only 1-3-1 this game, but late game Vladimir, absolutely disgusting. And the team sitting on a pretty sizable lead at the moment. But Dragon's score is still pretty light. 22 minutes in, only a 1 Dragon apiece. As meanwhile, HK versus Topside look to secure their 3rd Dragon of the game, right? Topside Baguette trying to get this soul and not going to connect it. Lilia gets the play. We have a fight happening here on the bot side. Big play as the Lilia finds a 4-man sleep, I believe. The red team are in trouble, but their health bars are still pretty big. The Sion finds a knock-up onto the Tom Kench. Low health bar for Zodex as the Shen trying for the backside, looking at the kill. The double kill by Senna, and the blue team end up on top. They get the Dragon. They get the fight. Sion was the last one alive. An ace there for HK as the Sion's dead body walks away 21-12, and the gold lead just barely is now theirs.
This is why you can't give junglers the champions that they're really good at. We saw Dodo Bobby on the Fiddlesticks. We're seeing Muldrifter on the Lilia. You just can't let them get away with it because they do stuff like this, right? This is a second 4-man sleep, and we haven't been watching these games consistently, but we caught 2 of them, which goes to show how incredible Muldrifter is on this champion right now. So I just... Yeah,
we talked about how important Lilia is going to be for their victory this game, and she is stepping up to the plate. 10-1-11 on the Lilia, 294 CS. Absolutely phenomenal job in late game Lilia. One of my least favorite champions to play against. Just the sheer speed and just the annoyance of never being able to catch her with anything, it feels like.
Eeping all over the place is usually what I say. Just hopping, prancing, if you will, frolicking through your jungle and theirs all at the same time. But, oh man, it's so also 21-12, but the gold is not that different.
No,
think that
gold
just
is
goes
incredibly
to
even, which is exciting to see. Yeah, really close gold game. Only about a 1 point. It looks like 1.5K if I can see correctly. I am getting old, might need some glasses, but nonetheless, I've prayed very close game here, especially 38 minutes in. Anything less than like a 4,000 gold difference this late in. The fight happening here is the top side as Trackpad takes down the Nico. Vladimir has to get away with the pool. He's trying to find some health right back right now. It looks like the Sejuani gonna stun them back though. The Ash trying to look for some damage. A big undying raise by the Tryndamere. He goes in, has the ultimate, stays alive. Ash cannot find the damage. Ez now trading back as Sejuani jumping in, finds a CC. Dig double kill for the Varus. I was saying Ash, I meant Varus folk. They both have bows. Varus finds the play. And the blue team are looking to possibly end this game while the teams go down.
So I got that 4-man Pop Blossom, again, second in a row. We have seen, you can't let junglers get away with it, everybody. You can't let them do this. But meanwhile, 10 GVT, you have no business as a support playing Ezreal that well.
Yeah, right? That is absolutely nuts how long he stayed alive. The Sejuani doing everything they can to catch him. Slippery little bastard as is.
Oh my lord. Trying to catch up to this Ezreal. Really good team fight. And honestly, really good from KND to be able to turn around and save that play. But also Yone's in your base, taking your inhibitors. Yeah. So,
yeah, more gold on that Yone is not a good thing for KND.
And GGL tend to play this, right? I think we saw this last week, where they tend to play not only chaotic comps, but also chaotic across the map. So you have a strange team fight with an incredible beginning of the engage, right? From this Nico. Meanwhile, Yone's just topside taking your inhibs, does not care at all that their team is getting destroyed. Because they're like, that's not my business.
Yeah.
I'm up here taking inhibs. So GGL, bring in the fun. Rift.
Definitely make it fun to watch, and just like we saw before. Absolutely, just kind of chaos on the map. They just bring a little bit of chaos to the map. They force the enemy team to choose between two bad decisions. And we have ourselves some fights going on here in both the bot screens right now. Wei trying to look at this at the Vladimir, but he is tough to catch with that pool. Able to get out of so many different skill shots with that ability. And here goes Mbessa, has the perfect execution, but not going to land. Yone with a great E, flashes away from there. And some damage here as a bot side fight happening as well. The Lilia once again gets the assist for her team. 11, 1, and 12. Tom Kench picks up the kill. And HK now shoving in for a possible end. They find a fight right here. Big stun by Senna. Going to root two of them. Do they have the damage to take down the tower? Ash throwing a little bit of slow. There's the Crystal Arrow. That's going to connect as well. Stun onto the bot side. HK still shoving in. The tower is looking low. And that's all they can get. They get themselves a tower and simply walk away. And 23-12. HK really coming alive here as this game's going on. They are one Drake away from Soul. So is topside Baguette. It is an exciting fight. Meanwhile, Trackpad once again finds the kill onto the Vladimir. He has gotten a lot right now. Yone going to dive into the backside, has the E. Down goes the Wave with the passive. And some bloodbath here in the GGL KND game. 3 members of GGL sent back to the Nexus. KND limping as well as 2 of them goes down. And Yone continues to shove. He is getting big. Tryndamere doing the same thing on the bot side inhibitor. And we are back into the picks and bans as well, guys. I know you guys got a lot on your screen right now. I appreciate you watching. Try to focus on what you can. Listen to the casters as well. Some fights happening on both maps. And also, the best of 3 series official game number 2 draft is underway as well. Senna, Zaheen, Nafiri getting selected. Mordekaiser, Lucian, and Mbessa.
Yeah, I mean, more tank, more beef. Apologies, because there's no break between now, so we just kind of... I just left the
I gotta grab some water here pretty soon, too, so I'm gonna leave you alone for 30 seconds, Bex, and you are all good.
All good. We're just doing draft here for this best of 3. So, and the other thing to think about, too, with these other games, the GGL versus KND and the HK versus we, these are best of ones. You don't get a chance to re-battle your opponent. You kind of just have to bring it.
Win or go home.
Win or go home. And the first and second seed do get that bye, which is so nice. You get a week off, you know? You get to take a little break. So definitely a lot on the line here for these seeds, but everyone you see will be in playoffs. So we got that going for us. It's just a matter of who
Big plays here. We got ourselves HK topside once again going at it. And the red team on the chase right now. Find one. Zodek's over the wall. Can they find the play right here? Backside. Big kills onto Lavender, it looks like. And Silas goes golden. Zodek still goes down, though. They have so much damage as soon as he pops out of that stasis. And now the blue team quickly turn the fight around. Shen going to dive in, stop that Simon hitting the knockup. The charm is going to connect. Senna throwing in some big damage onto the backside. Moldrifter has to go golden. A resurrect onto one of the members of the red team, but the damage is still there. Down goes the Nautilus. Ghost looking low. Moldrifter diving in. Some serious damage by the Lilia as she is frontlining, chasing down the Trundle. And the blue team are going to find the fight. HK with themselves an ace, and they have a small wave. Do they go try to end this game right here?
I mean, I would shove as hard as humanly possible and see if you can end the timers. You got time. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, they have 20 seconds. They have time. They have 3 members. Shen gonna back, I believe. He has teleport to join the fight again. He's gonna use it right away. Goes back for a little bit of health, maybe a little bit of items, but he's not gonna need them as the blue team have the damage, have the numbers, and that Nexus tower for the red squad is no more. HK pick up a victory of the best of 1 series. HK, what a performance.
Really well done. They were definitely, I don't think, favored to win that game. And winning it, honestly, rather decisively, especially in those late game plays, exactly like we were saying. That Lilia, what you gonna do? You're all asleep.
That's it, right? Lilia, such a great performance there. Topside Baguette have been so dominating in Risen. To see them go down, honestly surprising, but HK absolutely deserves it. And they get themselves a great win in that best of 1. Meanwhile, GGL and KND look like they might be finishing out their best of 1 here as well pretty soon. The blue team find the fight. Trackpad once again gets a kill, this time onto Yon. And they are not done battling as the Edge trying to run away, but the red team have the damage. Lucifer on the back looking to kill Milio. Has to run away. Trinimir working on the inhibitor. Does not have ultimate. The red team trying to take advantage of that. Can they find this? Trinimir wants to dash over the wall. Does find a little bit of safety, and Bessa does not want to follow. 22-25. A close game as the red team holding on to that kill lead. Without the gold lead, win at least a fight.
And GGL are known for having the shortest and the longest games in the league, so hitting a clean 31 minutes is not unusual for them. But let's take a look here at the draft for Game 2 of Milk versus Far Esports. And we have some interesting choices. We have some interesting things. Bard here picked up, was banned in Game 1.
Yep.
So it is interesting to see that immediately picked up here. It looks like it's going to be a Senna Bard bot lane, Victor mid, Zahen likely top from Fury jungle versus Mordekaiser top. Nope. Mbessa top. Mordekaiser jungle. Probably. Veigar mid, Lucian Leona bot lane. One of those two is going to be top, one is going to be jungle. But just taking a quick look at it, I am preferring Fart Esports comp so far. I think they have a little bit better CC, especially with the Veigar and the Leona.
Yeah, I really like Veigar as a champion as well. He's going to struggle a little bit into the Victor early game because he does not do well in the long-range poke. Both Victor, Xerath, Syndra, they all are decent counters to him. But Veigar is one of those champions that even if he gets countered, he can just play safely. He can just scale up, get a little bit of armor, a little bit of magic resist. He can actually build pretty tanky if he wants to. He gets that phenomenal evil stack. So building AP is not required on this champion. And Veigar, love the late game champion from them. We will see how it works out, though. I do like Milk's comp. I think Nefiri is an insanely strong jungler right now. Just really can take over games if they know what they're doing. So we'll see what this Nefiri can do. And meanwhile, GGL versus KND, another push here for the blue team. GGL really want to finish this up. KND trying to hold on, another shove. They have been on their back foot for a while now. They have the kill lead, but that does not matter as the strength is still on the blue side. Tenshi on the edge, trying to put some poke in long range. Support as working out here for GGL. We have seen them do some weird things. This is another one, but it is working.
What better support than more damage, you know? I think that counts as a pretty good support. 3 dragons here as well to the side of GGL. And Baron is up. They have options they can take if they want to, you know, if they want to take a Baron, if they want to wait and take an Elder. They have some options. Well, they can't quite do that yet, but it's kind of at this point, can KND hold on long enough, and what does their win con look like? Oh, nice. Oh,
big play there as the Way takes down the Nico once again. GGL just going a little bit too aggressive trying to end this game, but meanwhile, the Tryndamere is backside. He has a wave. He takes down these towers so fast. Does he have Undying Rage? He does. Can Tryndamere end this game? He's going to have the Undying Rage, immediately gets CC'd. He wants to get this tower at least. And he is going to grab a tower, but he goes down after that. And now, you know, the inhibitor, the Nexus towers do respawn. But Tryndamere is showing how dangerous he might be if the red team are not quick to respond.
And it means that, quite literally, KND cannot be too far from their Nexus, right? It takes at least, what, 2 people to maybe kill Monster Mush Mush or the Yone, which we saw earlier. So GGL have a way directly to win at this point, right? They have many teleports available, especially on this Tryndamere, and they have the opportunity to backdoor at any time. The threat is always up, and it takes a while for those Nexus towers to respawn. So if you're KND, how do you want to play this to try and keep yourselves in this game? Because
the
at this
interesting
point,
thing is that KND actually are going to take the gold lead with all of those kills, and they still have 10 towers left to take. So
true.
A very, very massive amount of gold on the field as well. It is a matter of KND winning these team fights. It seems like if they do not have a tower or in their base, the team fights seem to be going the way of GGL. And right now, GGL trying to test that as they're going to start a Baron with the entire enemy team alive. However, no vision on this Baron means they might be able to sneak it away quickly.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that KND even know that this is being taken. And with the Baron super minions, I think it's going to be really difficult for KND to keep them out of their Nexus, out of the way, out of...
Yeah.
It's going to be so hard, especially with how, to be quite honest, how chaotically GGL play these champions. Like I said, 10 GVT, how very dare you be a better Ezreal player than me? I'm kidding. But, you know, just the way that they're completely unafraid to play these champions, just absolutely unhinged and walk directly into you at all times. So that being said, ooh, it's gonna be a little bit spooky.
Yeah, I'm not sure if GGL want to go for a reset or what they're doing. I feel like they're kind of wasting a little bit of time here with just halfway shoving. They have a few of them here, but like 2 mid, 1 bot. That is not a very strong shove. And KND is able to handle it pretty easily without losing anything else. I would like to see a reset by GGL, maybe go for a big shove and actually choreographed one. But nonetheless, they do what they can. They have their level 20 Tryndamere top side doing stuff as well. And they have their Yone bot side taking out inhibitors. They actually are, slowly but surely, they find themselves 2 more inhibitors, 1 more top side, give themselves double super minions. Plus the Baron might be too much. Nico with a big plop awesome onto 2 of them. And there is some damage. The red team towers have not responded. They have a straight shot as the Ambessa dives in with a perfect execution. Going to connect onto 1. But the Tryndamere does not go down. Wants to go on the backside as well. Ambessa looking low. Double kill for the Black. Cannot find the play. And the red team, they have to take the tower down once more, but they have the fight. The blue team looking big right now. Red team health bars are low. The Nexus is even lower, and that's going to be a win for GGL. Take the best of 1 victory.
I have no words. I have no words. What a chaotic end to a very clearly chaotic game. Congrats, obviously, to GGL and HK. They're headed to the winner's side of the bracket, and we versus KND will be heading to the loser's side of the bracket. So at this point, HK and GGL get a bye. They get to go 1 week, and for the side of we and KND, it's who they get to face here. Really based on the end of this best of 3.
Yeah, yes, that is going to be a very exciting playoffs upcoming here pretty soon. But great job. Congratulations to GGL. Congratulations to HK taking down some 2 powerhouse. I mean, all 4 of them were kind of juggernauts. So, you know, any one of them could have won. There's a reason they were tied, folks, and we saw it right there. Really good games. The losing team is not out, by the way. They just do not get their first round bye, I believe. They are still able to win this. And we are on to continue our best of 3. Those best of 1 series are finished, but we still have a fantastic best of 3 series here ahead of us. Milk versus Fart. 2 very serious teams, as you can tell by their names, are ready to duel it out.
Serious. Yes.
Sounds good.
And we have heard from producers. We can take a break. Yay!
See you guys shortly.
Everyone
Stick
stretch.
around.
Yes, breathe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. We are back. It is time for game number 2 of this epic best of 3 matchup. We got the other games coming up here shortly as well. We will be showing those. But right now, we're going to put all of our focus here on game number 2 of the best of 3 between Milk and Fart.
I will never not laugh. My humor apparently is broken between vines and I don't know. That being said, as we're getting into game 2 here, that Bard skin's beautiful. I want Milk to win just based on that Bard skin alone. I don't care about anything. Oh, but the Vigar skin! Oh, no!
Vigar's got a fancy one, too.
Oh, the Bard skin. Anyway,
and I believe that is Arcane Victor, no?
I believe you are correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But I
got
don't
some
play
good ones.
But, oh, the color coordination is just on point. Chef's kiss to Milk. I appreciate you for all the blues and purples. Very beautiful. But as we're getting into game 2 here, and we have a little bit of a breather. Wow, only 1 game. Imagine what that's like. Remember,
right.
remember what that is like. I do believe Mayo forgot to say, but spend your channel points. Gamble on who you think is going to win here in game 2 of Milk versus Fart Esports. But it's going to be a really interesting battle. We saw how fantastic Wooden Mouth was in game 1. I think this Ahen is going to be nothing if not just as good.
Mouth
that being said,
man, Mordecai is ready for it. Great pull right there onto the Zaheen right under tower. Pops the Ignite as well, has the flash, but not enough for the kill. Zaheen barely makes it out of there.
Yeah, I am really excited for this top lane. I think they saw exactly how scary Wooden Mouth can be, and Super Spence is ready for it this time with this Mordekaiser pick. And turning a fight into a 4v4, always, it can be pretty good for your team, right?
Yeah.
One-way ticket to Brazil. We'll see exactly how many times we have our friends taken to Brazil, and if they come back or not. That's always exciting. Meanwhile, in this bot side, Lucian is so difficult for me because I do think that Lucian is a good champion, as we're about to see a nice level 3 engage here with Coke Monkey doing some really good aura farming on this Leona. Bard, meanwhile, on Magical Journey, doing whatever Bard does. But Lucian has this really weird power spike, and for me, Noto Bobby absolutely making a Magical Journey with Vader here.
Yeah, Bess is going to follow this Bard right now. Here comes the Vagar as well, turns to a fight in the jungle as the Bard has to run away, but he has to run away into the enemy jungle. The red team on the chase. Vagar looking for the W. Leona's there for the stun. And first blood goes to Vagar. Great play right there by 36 Sweaters. And they needed that because Victor was absolutely bowling this Vagar as expected. Early game, Victor will beat up Vagar pretty easily, and he was doing just that. But Vagar finds himself a little play right there. The gold, or the kill, definitely helping him with this gold deficit.
Yeah, unfortunate for Bard. Sometimes your magical journeys take you where you don't need to be. Caught on the wrong side of the map there, and really nice collapse engage there by Fart. Really well executed, and unfortunately that does mean that Senna, despite there being a nice roam there from some of the bot side to get that kill onto Bard, a little bit behind the CS, and that's just not going to be... You need those stacks, obviously, as Senna, so... Ooh, nice dodge. A bit of fancy feet there from Den. But the CS looking much more even than we saw in game 1 so far. Granted, we're not even 5 minutes in yet, but definitely a better start than we saw last time, especially for Numenoran here on the bot side of the map.
Yep, absolutely. Vagar starting to get going too as well. Great play right there, forcing the Victor back. Meanwhile, bot side, Coke Monkey hopping in onto the Bard. Can he find that play? Lucian, look at that final auto attack. Does not connect though. And still a very even bot lane. 27 CS apiece, 0 kills at the moment. Bard a little bit low on HP, but can heal himself up.
Yeah, okay, my favorite Bard skin is definitely Cafe Cuties because you make lattes. Who doesn't love a latte? It's a nice pick-me-up.
Bard's got some good ones.
Feeling low in health. It's true. But yeah, nice sustain there from the Bard. Barge is also, though, such a weird champion that I think Milk are going to really struggle to be able to find exactly when and where to use Bard effectively. So that is the one thing I'm worried about. We might see some nice roams from Bader, but I don't know. Bard's an iffy choice for me, just because, granted, it was banned, so clearly a champion they play. But as I like to say, that the Bard ult giveth and the Bard ult taketh away. So hopefully we see more giveth for the side of Milk. But I do think that the scaling, like you said earlier from Fart, is just going to be better. They have to be very careful. It might be very similar to Game 1. Nice stun, though, onto Dodo Bobby. I don't even think they knew they were there. I think that was just pure luck.
Ooh, and nice try, Leona, looking for that stun onto Victor. Just barely walked away from that. And like you were talking about earlier about, Bard is one of those support champions I think is not a very easy support to play. He seems deceptively simple. His auto attacks are pretty basic. His stun is pretty basic. But nonetheless, playing him well is just, there's such a night and day difference between the good and the bad Bard players.
Well, speaking of nice journey here.
And the red team ready for that. Veigar with that cage is so good in the jungle. Another fight happening right now. Is the Coke Monkey going to dive in? Look for the CC, but can take it out instead. Veigar does find a play against the Bard. And the red team on the chase right now. But not a big one, as Shia LaBeouf gives a little juicy fruit pop, and it looks like they're going to walk away. The blue team, do they want to turn back on this fight? And Bessa did not fully back. Can join this fight if they want to. Veigar's there, throws down the E. Good cage by the Veigar. Gets CC'd by Sen, and Fury goes untargetable. And Bessa trying to jump in right now, but getting hit by the Sen, and the red team unable to pick up the kill. Have to walk away. Nice try by both squads.
Yeah, that was really well played by both teams. Granted, 36 Sweaters did use that flash to try and capture those two members of Milk. Did succeed in doing so, but unfortunately, Nefiri has a little bit of a cheat code, right, with that invulnerable. Coke Monkey, though, wants a little bit more. Bard's so far forward in this engage.
Yeah, playing very aggressively. Not super tanky, though, either, so a little bit risky playing that far ahead on the Bard this early, but nonetheless, seems to be okay with it. And Gold lead only a 200 difference in this game. Staying pretty close as the first Drake remains on the field. Mountain Drake this time, first Drake of the game, and it's up there. Meanwhile, Mordekaiser, here it is, has the ultimate, brings him into the death round. The Zaheen trying to stay alive, but goes down. Mordekaiser picking up his first kill of the game, solo kill topside.
Even the grimmest of deliverances could not return Zahen from Brazil. One-way ticket there by Super Spence. Nice 1v1 kill in that top lane. Definitely better than Game 1. Nice showing on this Mordekaiser as well. I think really playing with the timings well, understanding exactly where they need to be. Even the turret was not able to be used by Woodenmouth like we saw in Game 1. So really well done for Super Spence. I'm really impressed with how Fart are playing this Game 1 so far, or Game 2. But also Milk, really staying in it. Despite, you know, Woodenmouth not being able to get as... Ooh, nice dodge there from...
Yeah, Leona tried it.
Ooh.
Good attempt by Coke
there
Monkey.
On the Zenith Blade. Ooh. Coke Monkey really farming this aura here on this Leona. Absolutely crazy plays. Just walking forward with no fear. I love it when a support does that. It's always terrifying. A Soraka walking at you with no fear, that's scary. That's a scary Soraka.
Yeah, Soraka seems deceptively slippery, it feels like. And Veigar gonna get hit right there. The Arcane Storm immediately gets popped. 36 Sweaters might be in trouble as the blue team here to help. Here comes the Fury. The Hound Pursuit connects. Down goes the Veigar. Meanwhile, bot side fight happening as Coke Monkey dives in onto the stand. Immediately gets CC'd though. And Lucian trying to do some damage. Does have his ultimate. Does he want to use it? Bard throwing in the Tempest Fate. Does not connect. Lucian walking away from that.
Yeah, really. All right, I have heard we're in draft for these best of ones, but I want to point out really fantastic juggling of tower aggro between Doran and Den there in that mid lane fight. So really good engaged. Coke Monkey flashing forward again with the Zenith Blade, just missing. Does not get the stun off, but Numenoran's really low on mana here. And we'll just let the bottom, we'll let those two best of ones do their drafting and we'll look at them afterwards because as we've established, we cannot, we have no idea. Especially for the GGL game where anyone's going. So it's not even worth looking at. Otherwise, we're going to get the sign again from our production saying casters are wrong. And that hurt my feelings. Yeah, there we go.
There
Meanwhile,
it is.
Realm of Death popped in the top side once again.
Yeah, Super Spence ready to go right back at it. Finds the damage. Zaheen just seems like he stands no chance in these Death Realms. Mordekaiser easily gets that win right there. And 4-2, Fart trying to close out this series quickly.
Oh, yes. So I don't know if anyone can see, especially if you're on mobile, apologies, because there's lots going on. In Mayo's little production camera, do you see that temperature gauge? That shows how hot it is in the room where he is running all this technology. Going in here, finding Super Spence on the top side, though. Also turning up the heat, oh, in the top lane.
There you go. Love that segue. Procaster. And bot side, Bard trying to use that magical journey to run away. Such a sliver of health is going to survive Senna with a little bit of healing. And Fart unable to pick up that kill as Bard has a great escape. Still behind the blue team. Trying to find a way back in. They have to worry about late game Mordekaiser, late game Veigar.
I am 99% sure that we saw Bard. The kill in the mid lane, Arcane Storm popped on the Rustic Sweater. Sorry, didn't mean to ruin that.
No, shoot. It was so fast. Blink and you missed it. That was a great play by the Victor. We talked about having the advantage against the Veigar, and that is absolutely coming to fruition. 1-0-2 has been bullying Veigar all game long. Has himself a 16 CS lead. And at least the red team do find a consolation. Mountain Drake is theirs 11 minutes in. First Drake gone.
Both shrines popped immediately to make sure that Bard would not die to that ignite. So really, really well played, the Vader. This Bard is stressing me out. I'm definitely not low cortisol about this Bard, I'll tell you that. Super Spence 2v1 in the top lane.
Yeah, top side. Mordekaiser has the shield, looking for the slam. Some damage done as Zaheen wants to ult in as well. Some serious fights. Mordekaiser trying to run away. The blue team on the chase, pops the ignite as he runs, gets the kill. Zaheen finally picks up his first kill with the help of the Fury. And 4-4 game, blue team have tied it up. Meanwhile, Victor looking for the play. Veigar has to flash out of that stun. Does not want to get hit by a stun and an Arcane Storm. 4-4 game, and Milk are going to take the gold lead with those nice kills.
Yeah. Nice even game. Again, much different than we saw last time in all lanes. So, right? Nice culling.
Yeah, Lucian on the colon, trying to find Senna. Thought he might just have enough damage. I thought so too, but Senna played it well, avoided enough of the shots. Leona did not get there in time for some CC. And red team trying to keep this aggression going as they know this Bard is roaming. Great solar flare by Leona. She's going to dive in. Senna gets stunned, but might not have the damage. Leona going to take too many tower shots, and Senna finds the makeup kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Lucian at least gets one, has the wave to farm. Senna's going to miss it, but not the best play there by Fart.
Yeah, honestly, I think you'll take that as Numenor. You were going to die there, I think, pretty much either way. And I think getting a kill back in return is good. Obviously, for the side of Fart, you love more money on that Lucian, especially as you're headed towards the mid game where you definitely need a good power spike to hit before you go into this later game. But honestly, things are so even right now. It's kind of bizarre. Very different game. It seems like both teams are really stepped up to the plate here in game 2. But
yeah, Milk really not trying to drop a second game. They want to force that game number 3. 5-5, almost dead even gold. And as you guys can see in the bot, the drafts are continuing. It looks like Wei gonna find himself another game. I love to see it. They are liking this champion as a caster. I love watching him. Wei, game number 3 tonight. We're gonna see him play in.
I mean, you get to, that's the third, we see Yasuo, okay? Yasuo is picked up here for topside Baguette. That is important.
They had a little bit of a bug right there. Doesn't show the Yasuo, but he is gonna be the first pick.
It's also next to a Yasuo, hence my confusion, so I'm not totally insane. Yasuo picked in both best of 1 games. Fascinating. Since they're both best of 1s, it's really interesting to see how the teams change their comp, because you could just run back the same comp again. Because it's not fearless, right? So it's
there's no fearless in those
interesting.
ones.
Yeah. Topside Baguette have a similar-ish comp, right, between the Silas and the team.
And Lucian gonna pop the damage, has the calling, solar flare comes in to help, actually comes in to steal the kill. But nonetheless, Lucian, great fight right there. 1-0-2. Meanwhile, Hound's pursuit by the Fury under tower gets DC'd by the Leona, and some damage here, and the Fury has to run away. Can the red team find the damage? She does get out safely, but not a great dive there by Nefiri. 5-7 red team take a slight lead.
very slippery play by Doran. Not able to get the kill right onto Shia, but managed to get out alive, which is honestly more than I expected.
And Victor sidesteps the perfect execution by Mbessa. Nice try there. Veigar not going to get caged by the Veigar either. Some good footwork by the Victor. Impressing us with these skill shot dodges.
Absolutely. It does look like draft here is complete for K&D versus we, and I just want to take a look at it for a hot second. Because this Malphite will determine how this Malphite builds will determine how I think this game is going to go. I don't know if we were talking, I don't remember which cast it was, and my apologies for not being able to keep them all straight. But as Carp, who many of you may know as a Risen admin, may say, there is a golden path to victory when it comes to Mordekaiser builds. However, okay, Mayo's very biased. Don't pay attention to the behind the curtain. But the Malphite build will really sell for me whether or not K&D gets this win. If it's a damagey AP Malphite, I don't think it's going to do well.
Yeah,
and if it's
no,
one of those
as much fun
builds,
it is to watch the AP Malphite, as much fun it is to play AP Malphite, it's not the winning strategy for Malphites.
I am not a Dusk and Dawn Malphite believer. Hot take. I am not a believer in the Dusk and Dawn Malphite. I'm very sorry if that's your thing, but I worry for K&D on how that's going to go. Meanwhile, topside Baguette, what a beefy team. Oof.
Yeah, that Silas is going to have a field day with these ultimates. I mean, Spiraling Despair, Malphite's ultimate is one of his favorites. He does well with Rakan's ultimate as well. I feel like Buster Shot might be the only one he doesn't take. Every other ult he's going to be fine with. Meanwhile, a fight happening in the top game.
Yeah, nice Tempered Fate there by Bader. Managing to make sure that Mbessa and Lucian cannot dive the Senna, but it is now a 4v3 here on the bot side, and it does look like
they want to maybe get a kill right here as they're trying to shove in this way. Veigar going to be here as well. He helps out so much with these dives. That cage makes it so difficult for the blue team to move around. Puts one over the Bard, instantly gets that kill. Victor throws down the Arcane Storm, some big damage on a Veigar, gets hit by the Solar Flare, and a public execution over the wall by Mbessa. The Ignite might be enough. Victor goes down. The Poland by Lucian is going to hit as the Senna running back to the tower does find safety. But multiple members of the blue team go down. Great play there. They do lose the Veigar. But red team with a clutch fight, they might be able to get some of the tower here as well.
Just a really well executed, gank into the spot side. You got 4 members here, and like you said, nice spacing by 36 Sweaters. Did get immediately obliterated. The Bard immediately got obliterated there by 36 Sweaters, and like you said, they do lose the Veigar, but overall, really well played. They will, I don't think they'll be able to get the tower here yet. This does look like they were able to get back to lane in time. But they get this dragon essentially for free. There is a chance that Doran may come in and steal it, but instead they're mid lane. Herald, so never mind. It's their dragon.
And their dragon, great job. Mbessa secures the dragon for their squad, and the blue team there on the chase right now. Mbessa simply dashes away. 6-9, red team, 2 Drakes, a 400 gold lead. That is a very small gold lead still.
Yeah. Super close game. I love it. I love to see a close game. Nice shutdown here available for Lucian.
And there it is. That Primordial Burst is starting to hit, folks. You saw Veigar. That Bard health looked way too high to die, but Veigar thought differently, and he was correct. Veigar with a big ultimate Bard. Not much you can do about that. And Coke Monkey going to find Victor in the jungle right now. Pops down some stun. Not going to be hit by it. Code Monkey does want to keep this fight going.
Telling us that GGL's comp this time, for those interested, is a Camille top, Lissandra jungle, Yorick mid, Yasuo AD, and Briar support. Honestly, not as weird as I was expecting. The weirdest part, I think, is the Lissandra jungle.
Yeah,
everything else is like, it's like kind of weird. Everything else is fine. It's just Lissandra in the jungle. That's kind of like...
It feels like anyone can go jungle these days, though. Lissandra jungle is still a very weird choice. I'm not sure how that early farming is going to go. Does not have a lot of ways to kill those jungle monsters. And we have a fight happening here in the river as Bard is going to get caught out. Solar Flare going to connect some damage here as Veigar throws down the cage. The CC chain is just too much. Bard is stunned for about 4 or 5 seconds. And the red team get an easy kill. 6 kills now on the Veigar.
Great, Cal, but I have a question. Was it worth all of those ultimates for the Bard?
That's the 0-4 Bard. You don't need to kill that 0-4 Bard. Get him out quickly.
Just a thought.
I am not sure if it was. We'll find out in a little bit when this next fight happens. Meanwhile, Mordekaiser topside 2v1 immediately pulls Wood and Mouth into the death realm, I believe, trying to run away right now, but gets out. The blue team want this kill. Super spins, good pull. Can he find the slam? The Fury goes untargetable, has the bleed damage. Down goes the Mordekaiser. And Shia LaBeouf under tower going to get hit by the, activate the colon, gets hit by a few tower shots. Not enough for the kill. Senna throwing in Dawning Shadow also does not connect. And not a lot of kills right here as both teams trying to go aggressive. Meanwhile, Bard might just make it happen. Has the magical journey under the wall. Looking at Coke Monkey, Big CC, Victor coming in to help out as well. Some stun onto Leona, throws down the Solar Flare, trying to protect the Lucian. Does just that, but has to sacrifice herself. Down goes Leona. And a big shutdown for the blue team as the Victor does not want to give up on this chase.
Jen is so deep here.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too deep, and Beth's gonna catch him out. Victor throwing out the Arcane Storm, needs to run away, but doesn't have the speed, and Bessa gives up on that fight. I think saw the Bard and decided to not take that 2v1. I think they could have won that, honestly. All they need to do is one more auto attack for the Victor.
Yeah, very strange turn of events here. Milk finding a nice comeback here in this bot side with a really prolonged fight. It seemed like Shia LaBeouf and Coke Monkey just stayed a little bit too long, and really fantastic chase sequence here. Newman Norin staying alive way longer than I honestly expected them to, and Vader really diving in deep. No fear here on the supports.
Yeah, right, and here we go. Doran gonna go in with that Hound's Pursuit, gonna find Super Spins, goes down immediately. Great kill there. Has another Hound's Pursuit. This time the target is Leona. Leona tries to dive into the blue team members. Pops the Solar Flare, lands onto multiple, but doesn't have the follow-up of damage to stay alive. Double kill for the Senna. And 36.4 to 35.9. We have a 500. Is that gold marker broken? We have been literally less than 500 gold for the full 20 minutes of this game.
It kind of feels like it. It feels like we've been watching the same, like nothing has happened. Nothing has changed in terms of the game state.
Just stayed dead even the entire game. Neither team has gotten a great lead yet. We're going to see if this might be the first one, as the blue team do have a 500 gold lead, trying to make it a 1,500 gold lead with this Baron, but Bard pops the Tempered Fate onto one member. It's the Ambessa. She's going to get stunned, but they are still working on the Baron. Ambessa pops the vision over the wall. The jungler now sees that she's going to use that Ambessa. Perfect execution very early. Maybe a little too early. The blue team are going to punish her for it. Immediately take it out to continue the Baron as the Lucian pops the Coley and some damage on that Baron. Here comes the Heen. Has that ultimate double kill for Senna. Down goes the Vagar. And the blue team working on the Baron. There goes the Fury. Has the smite. Down goes the Baron. Here comes Coke Monkey. Mordekaiser there as well. Pulls into Zaheen. Gets the kill. Do the blue team want to continue the fight? Do they want to run away with the objective? Lucian trying to follow the Bard, not going to connect. Coke Monkey connects on top of Victor. The slam from Mordekaiser is there as well. The Death Realm under tower. Victor wants the kill, takes down the Victor. And what a play by Mord. Red team lose the Baron. They are not done fighting at all. Pole's going to connect. Down goes Bard as well. Super Spence saving the red team from disaster as they lose the Baron. They get some kills. The Fury with the Hound's Pursuit gonna dive in. The fighting is just non-stop. Do they have a Hound's Pursuit connection again? Leona goes in for the stun on the Senna, but Senna throwing the auto attacks onto the gank, taking support. Mordekaiser pulls them both in for the slam. The Fury gets the kill on Leona. Senna trying to run away. She does find the distance. Mordekaiser cannot get the pull. And the 5-minute fight might finally be over with the red team 1 kill ahead, 1 Baron less.
And only a 1K difference between the two teams. Not even.
And even a 1K difference after all of that.
After all of that, just barely a 1K difference. They lost most of their Baron effects on their team. It was just a really extended play, and they're going to do it again.
And the fighting has already started again, this time for the Drake. Super Spence is here. Vagar throws out his cage early. Warden, the Zaheen going in with the ultimate, taking a lot of damage. Quick kill for Ambessa. Victor throwing in the Arcane Storm, gonna connect onto the Ambessa. The Tempered Fate hits as well. Ambessa might be in trouble as the CC chain is there for the blue team. Quickly take down the red team jungler. Leona gonna use that blast cone to join the fight. Finds the stun on the Bard. Shia LaBeouf onto the backside. Auto attacks onto the Senna. Gonna connect. Down goes the ADC as the burn damage is gonna be enough to take down the Bard. The red team finds some kills. The Dragon might just be there. The Fury gonna use that Hound's Pursuit on the Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf tries to dash away. A big Vagar cage is gonna stop the Fury dead in her tracks. Now she focuses her attention onto the Dragon. Can she find the smite battle? Lucian gets the auto attack. Down goes the Chem. The red team win the fight. The Victor has to run away. And another big fight. The red team are going to tie up the game, folks. 35.6k gold to 33.3k gold. A 300 gold difference once again.
What is happening?
What is happening is the only appropriate response to these fighting right now. This game is somehow dead even. The red team with the kill lead, with the objective lead. Blue team just 500 gold behind them.
Bizarre, because which fights go well for each team truly seems completely split, right? Like, you have some engages from the side of Milk that are so good, but they get, once again, split so easily by the side of Fart that they disintegrate, right? They just can't
the fights are going well for both teams during the fight because it's just lasting so long. Yeah, both teams are somehow winning the fights.
Yeah, at the same time, simultaneously,
both teams are winning the same fights.
I think if both Nexuses explode at the same time, that would make sense to me, honestly.
Meanwhile, topside, Mordekaiser has the Death Realm onto the Zaheen, it looks like. Do they have the damage? The Abessa dives in as well. Zaheen going to use that ultimate, has his Resurrect. We'll see if it saves his life. Wants to dive in. The public execution is not going to land as the Fury comes to help out. Zaheen turns the tables onto the Mordekaiser, and the blue team have some help. The Fury comes to save the day. Mordekaiser goes down. Zaheen picks one up. The red team want to revenge their friend. They're now chasing after the dog, but the Fury has too much escape. Simply runs away, and the blue team with a clutch kill are gonna perfectly tie up this game. 46.1k gold apiece, folks.
And the fights are going so long. They're so delayed in terms of just like how much spacing there is, and like I don't know. But
not
that being
quick
said,
fights at all, but
no,
very exciting ones nonetheless. Lucian gives his team a small gold lead with that tower. I am sure it's not going to last too long.
No.
As the red team are just one Drake away from Soul, though. And Zaheen, he wants to dive in immediately, gets a pull right here. Lucian is in trouble. Big solo flare by Leona is going to connect. The Tempered Fate lands onto the Lucian. The blue team, they're looking at the ADC. Shia LaBeouf trying to get away. Some big damage onto the blue sky. Mordekaiser is here to help out. They find the fight. Zaheen going to use his ultimate. This time, not so lucky, though, as he gets taken out by the Mordekaiser. And big plays there, red team. They want to continue this fight. They are looking at the Nefiri in the jungle, getting ready for this fourth and final Drake, possibly.
Yeah, I think for the side of Fart, that Spence is so huge on this Mordekaiser, you cannot discount where this person is at all times. It's, again, kind of like the Fiddlesticks, right? But instead of a mass sphere, it's just one person who's going to take you far away. And then you have to 1v1 them in the Death Realm, which is really bad for a lot of members of Milk, right? You really can't 1v1 this Mordekaiser. I think Wooden Mouth kind of gets a little bit of a pass, right? Obviously with the Resurrect for Zahen, and also the Grim Deliverance gives you a little bit of sustain. Oh my god. And
fight happening mid lane. House Pursuit immediately used. Going to use that untargetable to avoid the solar play. The public execution is going to connect, though. Down goes the Fury. 1-for-1 trade. And the red team, they're the ones that want to continue the fight right now. And Bessa and the Leona chasing down the Bard. Nice little easy 1-for-1 there. Down goes the Fury. Down goes Lucian.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting... for the side of Fart, you got to be of where Doran is, right? It's kind of it's a lot more even than we saw last game, where it seemed like Fart really had control the whole time, and for the side of Milk, you just really couldn't play in at any point.
And Victor is in trouble. Flashes away immediately. Leona's going to use that flash to follow, pops the solar flare as well, and that is so much damage. Primordial Burst makes it easy. Down goes the Victor. Veigar picks up his 7th kill. He now has a 200 bounty on his head. And finally, for the first time in the game, we have ourselves a 1.6k gold lead. It is not a lot, especially 20 minutes into the game, but for this game, it seems mountainous.
I mean, it is for this game, for sure.
Yeah.
We went from 300, I think it was dead even most of it. Super Spence
it was about less than 500 for the first, I would say, 21 minutes of the game. It was nuts how close this game has been. But the red team are slowly but surely 1.5 up to 1.8. They are starting to pull ahead. They found some big kills. The Veigar's getting going. The Mordekaiser's really getting going. And the blue team, I think, are getting a little bit worried as this 4th Drake is about to spawn.
I mean, also look at where so much of the money and kills on the side of Fart are, right? Between this Mordekaiser and this Veigar, those are really scary to have all that power sitting.
And a big fight here in the river. Leo's going to dive in first. Lucian pops the Coling, finds the damage on Senna. Down goes the blue team ADC. Bard now trying to run away. The red team on the chase right now, though. Code Monkey looking for the stun. Not going to land on the Victor. Blue team taking a lot of damage right there. Only lose one, but they also lose the Drake, which is even more beneficial. Red team get themselves a nice Chem Soul right here.
Huge props to 36 Sweaters for taking that blast cone immediately into the face of Doran and getting that kill in the back end. That's, again, I love this. The fearless play is the I do not care, I'm Vigar, and I'm going to murder you under your own tower. I love that aura. Really well done for the side of 36 Sweaters. And Coke Monkey, again, showing incredible utility on this Leona, hitting some a little suspicious Zenith plays, I'm not gonna lie. Some of them really feel like they should not have landed at all.
Yeah, right?
But fantastic really engage. Not missing really once, and providing a lot of aura for their team. 36 Sweaters in trouble, though.
And Vagar is in trouble right now. Does he have the cage? Pops that primordial burst. Down goes the Victor. Throws down the cage for Leona. She's not even land the stun. Tries to pop a stolen flare, but a double kill for Vagar is just too much. And now Leona turns the tables. Finds a CC against Bard. Trying to take a magical journey, but baits him. And Leona takes the journey while Bard stays behind. But he still goes down. Leona now caught in no man's land with the blue team. Is going to go down right here, I believe. Another big CC. But Doran still gets the kill. The bleed damage might be enough, but Leona stays alive. Shia LaBeouf comes to the rescue. And the red team find 4 big kills. They have a wave. They might be able to end the game. They only have 7 to walk through. Is this GG right here, the 31-minute mark?
I mean, at this point, it really does feel like it. Fart have really, man, they made it to finals, and they want that 5th seed. They said, by God, we're not coming last into playoffs.
Victor is going to come back. Bard coming back in a second as well, but so is the red fully alive. There's a solo play by Leona. Going to find the stun, but the damage is done. And the red team have the damage. The Nexus is looking low. A big tempered fate by Bard. Only connects on a 2. Lucian still free flying. Senna gets the shutdown. It does not matter. The red squad pull out the victory, and Fort with a 2-0 victory in this epic best-of-3 showdown.
Well, the best of 3 is done for tiebreakers. We can now fill in that the 6th seed going into playoffs will be Milk, and the 5th seed will be Fart. So that should fill out your brackets a little bit, looking at going into playoffs. You have a little bit more knowledge now. And now we still have best of 1 still happening. We still have the 1st through 4th seeds here playing it out. And it looks like so far some pretty even games.
And we got some good runs. KND versus Topside Baguette. GGL versus HK right here. So it is the 2 winners with GGL versus HK, correct?
Correct, yes. So those are going to be who gets 1st and 2nd seed. Both these teams will get a bye, like I said, next week. But KND versus we are going to be a little bit more pressured here in this game. I think hence why this game's a little bit closer about who gets that 3rd and 4th seed. Because again, it depends on who you're matched up against, who you're going to have a little bit of a harder time in playoffs against.
And with the teams being this close, I'm not thinking that any one of these teams are strategizing as far as, like, we can lose this game on purpose to get the lower seed or to get the lower seed to possibly play a better team. I don't think anyone's doing that. But with these teams being this close, they honestly could decide, hey, we play better against this team than this team, even though they are a higher seed, just because they are so similar as far as their skill range goes. I think all of these players right now are definitely competing for that top seed. They definitely want that 1 seed or that 3 seed, depending on which game they're playing in. But we will see how it goes out. I'm definitely curious about how these teams play into each other, if they have preferences on who they would rather play against.
From what I have seen from all of the teams here today, there is an element of, I'm going to use a swear, Mayo, sorry, shit-talking. Who gets to have, you know, the producer's angry at me. Who gets to have, you know, the, like, bragging rights, right? So I would normally agree with you that there is. I'm not wrong about this. This is 100% accurate, Mayo. You can't correct me. And also, no one can hear you. So, haha, is that, you know, who gets to have the bragging rights going into this about who beats who, right? Because there is a mental element to it, right? There is a lot of shit talking in the Discord. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. About teams being like, I'm gonna, you know, there was one last split in Doran's about one team dipping another in cheese because they were all rats. So, you know, like, that is kind of the vibe, right, about Doran's in general. So when it comes to this particular playoff, maybe some teams are doing some big 5-head moves about who gets to play whom, but I think a lot of it's just they want to beat up on each other and come out a winner.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mole Drifter, I don't know if you remember that incredible performance on the Lilia just last game, but he is looking to repeat that as he finds a double kill on his Wukong. And HK tying up the game 3-3. They're still behind 1,000 gold. Meanwhile, topside, Justino going to find the kill against the Jinx. Yasuo takes down the Wei, and Tahm Kench takes Tristana down. A lot of kills happening in both of these games right now. And it looks like Tahm Kench might not be done right now. Looking for some CC against the Rakan. Rakan trying to dive out, but gets hit by the Sylas. And he does have the tower to get back to. Good safety there. 3-4 top game, 3-3 bot game. And best of one series are exciting.
Yeah, Twinkie had to flash out there on the bot side. And there is something to be said for, like, best of ones. You get to be a little bit more chaotic. And for the side of GGL, that's almost impossible. But somehow they're going to bring it, right? Because you only have one shot. If you had one chance, you only have one shot.
One opportunity.
One opportunity.
Mom spaghetti, y'all. Let's go.
Mom spaghetti. Speaking of, in the bot side here, nice cleanup here by HK on the GGL. 4v2 there. Hextech. Ooh, not quite Hextech ultimatum. The Tempo Melon on the Shen.
I thought they were going to pull that right there as well. But Shen versus Camille. Camille seems to be okay fighting right here. Does have the ultimate if they want to use it. Shen is such a annoying champion to fight into as a melee, though. Just does deceptive amounts of damage. Has incredible burst. You just don't expect it. And it looks like Shen going to actually win that trade as Camille tries to dive in on him, but not expecting the tankiness from Shen. Looks like Shen has, I believe, a Zeke's as well. I can see in his items, I think. So, interesting build path right there.
Okay, see, this is the wrong Malphite build for me. So for the side of K&D, I'm sorry. This is not what I was hoping for.
Dusk and Dawn. He went Dusk and Dawn.
Dusk and Dawn.
Was the mistake made?
Yeah, because for me, it really should be. And, you know, blame Carp, but I am a full believer in this build. Steel Cap into Brambles into Wardsville. And I think that Dusk and Dawn, unfortunately, splits too much and doesn't provide enough, especially when you're playing into this team, right? And all of the just sheer damage coming out, right? And how you have to play for your team as a Malphite jungle. It just doesn't do it for me. So, again, no shade, no tea. If you like Dusk and Dawn Malphite, more power to you.
It's going to be a lot of fun for the Malphite player. I'm just not sure it's going to lead to the win. Meanwhile, I think they had the kill against Anivia. Anivia's egg goes down. Wukong finds the Briar. Make that 3-1 for the Wukong. Wants to find another one. Double kill, this time onto Lysandra. And Mole Drifter. This man is unstoppable in the jungle. 4-1 start here for HK. He is trying to get them that 1 seed. He is doing a great job at it so far.
Yeah, I mean, I lost really punishing Anivia's earlier flash there in the mid lane. I don't know if anyone caught that, but punishing the flash, putting them in the little baby cage. Nice wild growth there on this bot side. Kill to Lavender, getting the kill onto the Yasuo. Making Lulu popping that wild growth onto the Inara to make sure that she was sustained that potential engage from the Briar. Very strange. It's not a gank from the Briar. The Briar is a support, so...
A fight happening here topside as the Mordekaiser and Sylas find the gank against Ornn. Topside Baguette, great play right there. Jungle Sylas helping out. 123 CS. Sylas, I still feel like is going to enjoy this game. Has a lot of really good ultimates to steal. And he, of course, can build AP. Get himself a Seekers as well for that golden status.
Yeah, I just think for this, in this particular case, for the K&D versus we, Gordon is just going to have a bad time. I think Ornn playing into this team is just... Obviously, there is utility from the Brittle procs and also the Call of the Forge Gods, but they're just going to be starved of gold and opportunity to really make plays for their team. Because I think low pick on this Mordekaiser is going to absolutely brutally punish them. Right? We're, what, 15 minutes, 16 minutes in this game, already tier 1 in the top side's down, and he's behind 50 CS. So, like, for Lupek's just gonna... Red Team just stole the Hextech Drake with a super mega
rocket! Jinx with the rocket, I believe, finds the fight. And just when you think the blue team had a chance, they lose the Drake. Meanwhile, Sylas goes golden to stay alive. Malphite goes down from the Yasuo. The red team are here in charge, though. We're gonna use the Call of the Forge God, finds a knockup, but the damage is just not there. as it looks like Silas runs away from that Ornn, and Ornn gets eaten by the Tahm Kench, push him right back out. The red team find the fight 9-3 after stealing the dragon, and things are coming up completely topside Baguette.
Trackpad Enjoyer had the most unfortunate jump there. Immediately into the direct line of a Yasuo ultimate. That feels so bad as an ADC player, but holy cow. Topside Baguette are really coming. They lost that first best and when they're like, we gotta show up. And man, they are absolutely showing up. Wow, really, really well coordinated team play. And again, unfortunately for the side of K&D, they just don't have a tanky frontliner. So you have the Yasuo who's able to get on your back line. You have, you know, the Silas who's not only yoinking your ultimates and then using them against you. It's just really hard, I think, for K&D to be able to engage and have these fights. Meanwhile, we're looking at GGL versus HK here. Monster Mush Mush picking up a kill. This Camille is just wild. There's no words. And to keep in mind, that's a Lissandra jungle, in case you were wondering.
Lissandra jungle, 0-2-5. Not an insane performance, but nonetheless, 5 assists is always good to see. And a fight happening mid lane. The Spy and Despair is going to connect onto Ghost. Do they have the damage as well? The Void hits, and that's what I'm talking about. I love that ability. Spy and Despair followed by, I call it the mortar shot. Down goes the Jinx.
And, you know, for this side here of GGL, even if Lucifer, oh my gosh, nice last breath there onto Noabla. But there are two here. Lavender is catching up.
And Shen gonna use that Stand United
nice
to join the fight, and Yasuo does not do well into Shen. Shen easily finds the taunt. Lulu is the one that gets the kill. But nonetheless, great play there, and the red side pick up another one. They are still behind in goal, but they are getting objectives. They are getting kills.
Yeah. Was Stand United necessary there? Probably not. I do think that the Yunara with the Transcend oneself had that chase down kind of in the bag, but it always looks cool, and who doesn't love ulting a Shen? It always feels really nice to do that. Meanwhile, Camille is pushing up in this top side, though, which will be hard. I mean, for the side of HK, you have Wukong, Muldrifter really showing up. Nivea is really struggling, but thankfully they're not having as bad a time as poor Gordon on this Ornn in this other matchup.
Yeah, you hate to see that. The good news about the Ornn is you don't need to get kills. You just need to get levels. You just want to level up your items. You can always help your team out that way, even if you're not super strong, super damage dealing. So that's going to be clutch for the Ornn. I'm sure his teammates are going to help with that, are going to enjoy those buffed items. But blue team falling behind by almost 7K gold right now. It's definitely looked like an uphill battle. Meanwhile, Lucifer has to go golden to stay alive. Lissandra might be in trouble as the Yasuo dives in with the last breath. That's going to connect. Here comes the Briar as well. Certain death going to land onto the Wukong. They find the kill. The blue team still looking with the fight is Lavender throwing in some big auto attacks, using that Transcend oneself. Do they have the damage, though? Does kill the Yasuo, I believe, and is not done fighting. Now they want to run away as Yoshi chasing down the ADC, has the stun, has the damage. Down goes the Yunara. Tenshi VT kicks up the kill. And 7-9 in the top side, 10-10 bot game. We got ourselves 2 close matches.
Once again, Tenshi VT, what? Are you like a super soldier? Or you created a lab? Because playing ADC as a support, playing jungle as a support, it doesn't matter. The amount of utility that this person provides on literally any champion that they play is genuinely absurd. Really well done for the side of GGL. It looked like a pretty good engage. Unfortunately, Muldrifter caught out there, especially by that Yasuo. And Noablo had used their flash earlier on a previous pressure from this bot side of GGL, which means they were able to push in and know that the Lulu couldn't get away with it. And once Polymorph is down, they can go in whenever they want.
Camille topside going to use that Hextech ultimatum, try to dive in. They have the play, though. Stand United once again used by Shen to join that fight. Maybe a little necessary, but they get the kill. And 11-10. Great job, by the way, KND. We didn't see that fight completely, but nonetheless, KND able to tie up with a big 4-man wipe. Close that gap quite a bit. Now only about 3.5K gold behind, but still behind.
I do want to give props to KND for the Choo-Choo Orange skin. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Gotta appreciate
There's no skin game win games. There's not enough time, but, you know, that's the best orange skin. I will not take any feedback on this matter. But looks like we have K&D versus we maybe fighting over this dragon spawn. TP's coming in. It is, in fact, going to be a full team fight.
Yep, and we have a fight happening right now. Good play right there. The knockup by Rakan. He's going to activate the quickest immediately. Triumphs all 4 of them as Lopic is still frontlining for the squad. Can they find the play? Oh, I'm going to use that call. The Forge got big. Knockup. Down goes the Yasuo. The blue team might just find a fight. Yasuo gets a double kill onto the Yasuo, and they are not done chasing. Tristana used that rocket jump, takes down the Tom Kench. Lopic has to flash away. The blast going for distance, and 5 members of KND remain standing. They head over for their first Drake. They're going to take this game right back, folks. 11-9, first Drake in their hands. They just won themselves a fight successfully.
Godspeed to Gordon for maintaining the frontline duties. The Call of the Forge God coming in clutch there. And also huge props to Pegasus Knights, one of my top supports of the league by far, if not my top pick for support of the league, just because of the way that they play. And they are always coming in with the absolute most incredible utility, fantastic quickness on this Rakan, and providing really good space for Trackpan and Joyo to pick up these kills, 4-2 here on this Tristana. But don't discount like the wave, 6-1 as well. So KND coming back, absolutely swinging here. 22 minutes in.
I love seeing the way do well, and huge ultimate dead by Pegasus for Pop or Knights. It was very good ultimate Rakan did. 11-9, blue team is still behind, but they did just win another fight, got themselves a Drake. Definitely give them some hope to get back into this game. And meanwhile, bot side, GGL versus HK. HK losing by almost 6K gold. They have 2 Drakes, they have the kill lead, but it is just a CS difference right now that GGL is just beating them at.
Yeah, this Yorick. I mean, Yorick in general is so in such a good place. And unfortunately for the side of HK, it's going to take more than one person to be able to deal with him. Speaking of.
And speaking of, here Yorick is bot side, has a Rift Herald, dives in immediately, but Yanara gets the shutdown. That is enough distraction for the team to secure the Baron. That is a worthwhile trade there for GGL. They will take that any day of the week. Big Baron for them, and let's see what they can do with it.
And they are so good at these macro plays. I think I mentioned it in this last game. They are so good at drawing all of your focus one place and then doing something somewhere else that is going to make you sad, such as taking your towers and your inhibitors or the Baron. So really well played by GGL. They have fantastic macro play. We're getting a little bit of a replay here into this mid lane. See, things happening all the time. Oh, is this live?
And this is the real thing right now. Camille has to flash away. Here comes the Shen, going to use that stand united. Wants to find the taunt, but gets pushed away. And GGL versus HK is heating up as GGL have the Baron. They are trying to shove in, see what they can do with it. Only 22 minutes into the game. And topside, KND find the kill on Mordekaiser. Jinx takes down Rakan.
Yeah, fantastic pickup by Ghost. Oof. Yeah, Monster Mush Mush has no fear, but maybe should be a little afraid.
On they can chew. Good kill there. Shen gets the play. 4 members of the red side, top side though. Blue team without an objective to take. Not a whole lot to do about it.
Yeah, it did take 4 there, but luckily they didn't lose anything on the back half of that, besides Lissandra taking their bot side jungle, which is not ideal if you are the side of Muldrifter. That is definitely unfortunate, but I want to give props there. That was Ghost's first kill of the game. An incredible kill, basically over the wall, directly into Pegasus Knight's face, but don't forget that Jinx stole that dragon. I still think that's really cool. Really
Great
close
side.
game
Love when a
here.
Jinx can steal a dragon. Absolutely, such a cool play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even though, I mean, great kill, the red team, my HK were able to get a kill onto the Camille, but GGL just still got so many objectives and monsters and CS from that play. They are still going to add to their goal lead, even losing a player. Their macro game is just through the roof right now. It is so difficult for HK to sort of match them. They are just getting distracted at every angle, and GGL really able to benefit off of it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of their MO in a lot of games, is just providing this distraction technique. And also, I mean, look at the tower difference, right? 7-1. So they're just able to move around the map better. They have better macro, and their team fights are really clean. Even if they lose, they're still winning somewhere else. So,
and Yasuo goes way too aggressive against the way able to shield himself, throw it on a little bit of extra damage. Yasuo spends too much time under tower. Meanwhile, the quick is activated by Rakan. They find the CC, and Silas trying to take down the Way. Can he find the abilities? Does not have the auto attack, and it takes some shots. Way gets the kill. And KND fighting back aggressively. They want to get this gold lead back. They've had the kill lead for a while. Mordekai's looking to take down the Tom Kench. Cannot find that final slam. Meanwhile, bot side, a fight happening as well as the red team lose through. GGL getting a couple with the help of Briar. And they are shoving in with Baron. How many objectives can they get right here?
Yeah, I don't think I want to continue this push, especially since Muldrifter and Lavender were able to pick up that kill onto the Camille, because the Camille does have a lot of push potential. That being said, iLost is going to do whatever they want. They're Yasuo. They can, just like Leon last game, they'll continue to push as much as they want. I don't think any objectives are up. It does look like Briar is either clearing Vision or actively taking Dragon by themselves. I can't quite tell because it's too small. I'm sure we'll find out soon.
I think they're taking Dragon at this point. They've been over there for a while. Unless they're really, yeah. I'm pretty sure they have to be taking Dragon at this point.
It's a lot of Vision.
Yeah, so yeah, they're really putting down supports.
Yeah, okay.
And that is going to be a Cloud Drake, so 2 Drakes apiece.
Yes. So, you know, the support casually 1v1ing the Dragon until your ADC can get there. That's fine. It's normal.
And look at the gold lead now, just a 600 gold difference between these two teams. Great job by KND to come back. It was about a 6,000 difference a little bit ago. So very, very big gold gap for the red team earlier. Blue team finding some really good kills. And 1 Drake apiece, 27 minutes into the game. Who's going to be the next one to win a fight? And a big play there. The call of the port shot is going to be activated. Track pad goes down immediately from the Yasuo. Smokey Gom comes in with the Tom Kench. Big knockup is going to land. Goes throwing in the auto attack. Not doing a ton of damage though. Needs to find the kill to get frenzy. Might just find Victor. And Jinx wants to get one as the Oran takes down the Yasuo. There it is. Jinx is now frenzied. Look at the play. But the blue team chasing after the Silas. Wants to get the kill. Tom Gog needs to dash away. Some damage by the Mordekaiser. Looking at Tom Kench. Tom Kench diving right back in. Gets taken out by the Mord. And the red team with a frenzied Jinx with a triple kill. Find the fight. Find the kills.
GGL versus HK. Nice kill there by Muldrifter, being able to chase down. That's an ace for the side.
Is that the two big fights happening on both games right there? Obviously, you can see topside getting themselves a big victory, but meanwhile, GGL versus HK. Tenchi trying to dive in, immediately gets ignited. The Wukong gets the shutdown. And it looks like the fighting has finally ceased. Both teams, or all 4 teams, jumping into a fight at approximately the same exact time. But you can see topside get themselves a winning fight and get themselves a Baron. They're going to take that lead right back.
That was a nice pick there on the iLost, which meant that they were able to force the rest of GGL out of their base. Also getting a kill there on the 10 CVT on that Briar as well. So some nice energy there for HK. They definitely need it with the way that this game is going. Once again, fewer kills here for the side of GGL, but gold decidedly in their favor. That is a pattern I think we will see again as GGL continue to play here. Doran's, but as you said, nice fight by Wee and KND. Everyone's fighting all the time.
It's so much to keep track of. We really went from one big team fight directly to the end of another big team fight. We missed the shoutcasting out of that second one a little bit, but that is all right. 15-15, 5K gold lead for topside or we. And that is right. We is topside Baguette, correct?
Correct. You are.
That makes sense. Baguette, French. I got all of a sudden. All of a sudden, we makes a lot more sense. Yep. And we have Yasuo being a little aggressive, 3-5-4, but 283 CS. Yasuo has some items in his kit. He can definitely do some damage if he finds the right play.
Monster Mush here on the bottom side
and
of the
screen. And there it is. Malphite over the wall has the ultimate, but not going to be enough. Down goes the Tristana trying to help the ADC, but ends up getting the ADC killed. And the red team, they are in control of this squad right now as we, still with the Baron, looking to give themselves another tower.
I do think that... Oh.
Malphite, there it is. The Rakan Silas diving in, I believe, with the quickness from Rakan, actually. I was like, how did the Silas... I thought it was Rakan, but it was Silas using the Rakan quickness. Got to remember, he's both in the field right now. And Oran trying to protect that team, trying to protect that tower, but the red team have some range to push them in. Another wave. Can they get the tower with this next wave?
I think they can. I mean, the push is just too great, especially with the Baron minions, and unfortunately, there's not enough damage left for the side of KND to be able to push them out of their base. So I do believe they'll probably get inhibitor here. And it looks like Justino is caught
might be in trouble. He can't make it out. Oran in trouble, and Bard in trouble as well. Oran in trouble as well. Has to dash away. There's a big ult by Yasuo. Connects on 2 of them. Down goes the Tristas. Down goes the Rakan. And ladies and gentlemen, topside Baguette. I think they have the kills. They have the wave. That is going to be a GG for them.
Yeah, I think that's
And I think we might have another game ending as well. As meanwhile, game number 2, GGL, they also have the Baron. They are also shoving in. But a little bit of a difference there as they lose one of their members. Then they have to settle for inhibitors and maybe go for a reset.
I mean, I think they could push if they really wanted to. They have so much damage and so much meat here. Lavender's dead. To the minions from York. York minions here providing a lot of utility. And Anivia cannot stay in one place long enough to be able to put the Glacial Storm down to do the damage. Nice stun, though, onto the Yasuo. Tempo Melon goes in deep.
There, Yasuo in trouble. Shut down for the Shen.
But there's only one tower left here. Moldrifter coming in with the Cyclone.
Doing what he can on the Wukong. Did so well last time on the Lilia Tempo. Tempo Melon getting away from the Camille. And the red team, I think, might just get this play as iLost does take down the Anivia. Camille tries to dive in. They need to focus on the tower. Tenchi does just that as the rest of the blue team try to distract them. And Tenchi with a massive wave. iLost is there to get polymorphed immediately. Tenchi diving in, but the wave is huge. I'm not sure the red team can stop the minions. Tenchi goes down. Can they clear out these minions fast enough? I do think they might be able to get to it. A lot of supers are coming in. They have the wave clear. 4 members are going to be enough. They get the clearance. And HK hold on for another fight. Can they come back into this game, though? It will be a miracle if they do.
I never say it's over until the Nexus literally explodes. But that being said, it just looks so dire here for HK, right? I mean, iLost alone on this Yorick. Despite the scoreline not being like too dramatic in their favor, the amount of damage coming out of this Yorick is truly absurd. I mean, you saw Noabla just absolutely get disintegrated, right, by the little gremlin minions there from the Yorick. So you have to just think about how you want to play those team fights out. There's almost not enough space to be had, right? Unfortunately, Twinkie on this Anivia has not been able to find a lot of utility. Some nice stuns coming out, but cannot, like I said, stay in one place long enough because of the damage and the backline engage that GGL has, right? Between Tenchi VT and this Yasuo. And honestly, even the Lissandra, right? Being able to essentially teleport a little bit with her Glacial Path. That's what it's called. Glacial Path ability to your backline. I mean, it's just looking really hard for HK to be able to play a front-to-back comp when your backline is constantly being engaged upon. That being said, they're not going to go down without a fight here. As Yasuo comes back to push in, all the members are alive. It does look like they're going to leave the Camille on the bot side.
Yeah, they do have an exposed Nexus, but they are alive. And HK actually have a solid late game comp, though. Anivia, very good late game. Yanara, also very good late game. So it is definitely not unheard of, but it is tough to deal with this comp. Like you said, Lissandra, Camille, Briar, just able to kind of close that gap. They don't need to, they don't need to walk over your ultimate. They don't need to walk over your Glacial Storm or anything. They can just get to the back line immediately.
Yeah, this may be do or die here. The final fight with at least no sound for me, which makes it twice as dramatic, I think.
That is all good.
We just tense silence, I think.
It is tense. It is just that. It is a very exciting right now. Lissandra trying to go in, looking for that play. Immediately gets taunted, though, and the red team find the kill, but they turn their attention towards the Nexus. The blue team, they don't even want to fight. They want to go for the Nexus, and they're going to do just that. Exposed Nexus is dangerous, and you can see why. As the blue team says, we don't need to kill. We just need to kill the Nexus. Great job by GGL picking up first seed in the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun playoffs as we go deeper into the very end of the season here. I just want to take a quick look at exactly what these the playoffs is going to look like now that we have some more information here, right? So looking at how things shook out, we should theoretically, if my math is correct, which granted it might not be, have we versus Fart in the quarterfinals next week, right? So stay tuned. We versus Fart, and then also we'll have Milk versus KND, which should be a really fantastic matchup for both of these teams. I mean, I think that it's not over yet, right? We could still see an incredible comeback from any of these teams to go straight to finals and maybe face off against with GGL, who I do think are currently the favorites to win. I think largely just because they play so strangely. It's hard to know how to play against them.
Oh, God, but it's so exciting to watch. I cannot wait to see their upcoming games.
Yes, absolutely. But I do know they're... Go ahead.
Those were the final matches tonight, correct?
Correct. That is everything.
Well, guys,
We have
I
done
hope
it.
you had so much fun. Usually we have some maybe after game tournament or after game interviews or maybe MVPs. But today, with the amount of games, the amount of craziness, it was just about some fun entertainment. Hopefully you guys enjoy these incredible Risen games. The broadcasting, big shout out obviously to Mayo. I know he's in there. Did an incredible job broadcasting all of these games for us. I know I had a blast. I always do. It's my second week casting with Bex, and I am just blown away every time by her abilities. So thank you guys for me. Bexon, you want to say your goodbyes?
Just make sure that you keep like and subscribe, all the good things for Risen content. I know there's more Bommies and also Magi's. Tomorrow, franchise is on Wednesdays, and it will be finals, right? So the very inaugural finals for Franchise League, so make sure you check that out. I'll be there along with Ozzy. And then Friday should be draft again, and so there's lots more to be had for Risen pretty much every day of the week.
And there it is, folks. So be here for the upcoming Risen games. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful night. You know I did too. I will see you guys next Risen stream. As always, folks, be good or be good at it.